Yeah, we're talking about eating cereal and milk. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Welcome to the Mutant Epoch. Episode I am not prepared. 28. And I'm gonna roll. Oh god, please be very interesting.
Looking the dinosaurs.
Dinosaur milk?
I mean, that's an option.
Dinosaur giant milk udders.
Oh god.
It's a singular udder.
That went all right through the title. I'm fine with it. It was. You know what? I'm here for that. I'm here
Profits? What are those?
mammary glands on giant dinosaurs with laser beams on their heads, and it's just got mecha titties. Like, why did you put mecha titties on your dino? Like, why? Yeah, where else come from? Gotta have laser beams. I'm gonna send out this link to this on to Twitter, X, whatever the fuck you're called nowadays.
It's Twitter.
It's Twitter.
Blue Sky, X, whatever you want to do.
Oh, I haven't used Blue Sky yet. I'm just thinking about
Blue
Tumblr
Sky is a pain. It's
Tim
good
is
when you
now
set it
on
up.
for Affinity.
what? No. See, hold on. I am now a member of the Fur Affinity official Discord. They have a lot of rules about how you can post, and I have not yet reached the level I'm supposed to be at in order to be able to post images, because I wanted to post images of the Beast Humans from Mutant Epoch, because we're going to be doing, after this campaign, a Beast Human game in the Underworld.
Ooh.
And we were discussing actually not that long ago which one of us made the pun that a Warren is Old English for a network of rabbit tunnels. And we don't know which one of us did it, like, at all. It just became Underworld. It was the Deep Down at one point, or the Dark Downs, or the and it changed to the Underworld at one point. And I'm like, I don't have a written record of this.
So you two are trying to tell me that was not intentional.
No.
That was definitely,
I somehow don't believe
that
I
was
believe
definitely
it.
intentional.
Yeah, I was gonna say that sounds
okay.
intentional.
Sorry, taking the magic out of it.
Sorry,
God.
Tim, but yeah, it sounds very intentional on your part.
It sounds intentional.
I wish
Just like joining for Affinity.
that was intentional. Those people are actually highly organized.
Yes.
We do not want to. We do not want to offend them.
No.
We want to bring them into the fold of playing Mutant Epoch.
Are you high enough rank to post?
No,
links? Can you
nothing.
push
I
it
can
through?
have general conversations, and I'm like, each time I go in to start a general conversation with my furry friends, I don't know what to say because some of the combos are very deep in the weeds of their own like genre, or they're talking about artists or locations or conventions. I have no. Okay, I'm learning a whole new fucking language here.
Well, time to go down a rabbit hole that you don't want to go down to.
How dare you make that pun after we just established
How
fucking
dare he
words?
stand where he stood?
How dare I? I'm the furry. Of course I can.
Yeah, that's fair. Anyways,
This stream is gonna be either our most popular or our most despised.
Exclusive.
What's not limit ourselves?
It can be both at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, that's an achievement, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nope, don't want that. All right, so Pat, tell us about last stream while I send out links.
Okay. In the last one, we decided on the best tactic for dealing with the alien menace in the bunker. So we ended up creating a pathogen that was highly effective against their respirators. And we set it off inside of the air filtration system for the lower levels exclusively, at which point we accepted their unconditional surrender save their leader who wanted to die in battle. At which point she ascended to the surface against Cinder, who then slaughtered her in one-on-one melee combat. Afterwards, we managed to collect up everything that we needed, turn over the base to the Beatles, and return back to Bittertoe as heroes. Does that about cover it?
That about covers it, yeah. 300 experience factors were released around to the party. Got a couple of new abilities. That Argo, that's also going to go for your two guys. They're also going to have the EFs. We keep them in line. For Argo and Whiskey Tango. And then... So what I planned very, very recently, because we have all been suffering through a massive heat wave, and getting on my computer was rather difficult in the 102-degree weather, is a murder mystery. So let me read my prompt here. Actually, let me get on my mood music. It's already playing, but I can't. Probably because there's something wrong. Audio settings again. There we go. You guys were enjoying an evening in Bittertoe, getting ready for your push towards Colossus in the next few days. The vehicle that our rat friend has been learning how to use, putting back together again and customizing, is now on its last few bolts that need to be set, seams that need to be riveted, welds need to be. There's a sudden general call to the line. Everyone's that's on watch is called over to the walls to stand on guard. And this is what happens usually at dusk and dawn. It's called Stand 2. A sudden order of Stand 2 comes through the entire fortification. And all the different members of the military get up to their guard posts, and anyone else who is not on guard post basically is asked to sit still. Wait. It takes a few minutes, and then Stand 2 is canceled. A man comes up. Yeah. A man comes up. This one of the younger officers, Commander Grell. He's got a bit of a limp from an injury he's recently taken while out on patrol. And he goes up to Iliad. And he hands you a pocket with a small digital readout. And it shows, and he says, the civilian's been killed on the lower level.
Wordlessly, Iliad will read the details of this docket. Just gather as much information before making a measured response.
It's a preliminary look. Knife wound, died of insanguination. Currently, the area is under restriction, but there's been no further investigation. So they're not allowing anybody in until it can be examined. It says, we don't really have anybody here other than the doc who's capable of doing an analysis of a location. That's, a crime scene. But right now, nobody's been in or out of the base, and I've just had the gate be locked down. To ensure that the killer, if they're still here, isn't able to.
So this was he said this was a civilian, right?
Yeah, civilian. A visitor. Water.
Outsider.
Yeah.
How many outsiders are typically on that level?
Down there in the this is an area that a civilian can access fairly easily. It's just a corridor with a empty supply warehouses. He had no reason to be down there, but he wouldn't have had to have bypassed any gates of security. It's unfortunately this is an oversight in our overall like site defense. It's deep inside.
Gather all other outsiders. Gather everyone who is on watch within the building. We have to cordon off. I will handle cordoning off the crime scene.
Understood, Sir Elliot.
With that, he's going to gather the party to be in charge of like blocking off the crime scene to ensure only trusted eyes will currently be on the area.
Duke is going to be more than willing to assume crowd control position as needed and help cordon off. Doc will begin sauntering over with his medical bag to perform the role of coroner.
Perfect. Yeah.
Sander would
also-
like to get there pretty fast so he can at least sniff out the situation before there's a lot of conflicting scents from the party members and anybody else. And similarly, Red Rum would like to get there pretty quickly and just start scanning with empathy, especially trying to see if he can detect anyone with murderous thoughts and feelings. within
Elliot's also
range.
going to request that the all requested parties, the outsiders and patrol units, be in separate areas. So civilians one area, patrol in the other area, but also not too far away from the crime scene, so we don't have to go too far to question them.
Mm-hmm.
What about Rhea, Argo, Whiskey Tango?
I mean, Argo can definitely help with Doc because I have some expertise.
Would Whiskey Tango like to pull security on the visitors?
Honestly, that sounds perfect. So,
There's mistake number one. That's not a dead man. That's a chalk outline. Well, a rope outline to be exact.
Oh no. The murderer's gotten up and moved. Become a zombie.
Where is he?
pull map away on?
I'll just try to throw images on the screen. That's not just
He
the
escaped
map.
his own murder scene.
You're all allowed to
So,
do this, by the way. You all have GM access. If you want to throw images up, you're like a murder one, go ahead, or any kind of mystery, like, I don't know, mystery
What?
paraphernalia? Is that right? No, I don't know.
So
while he is
what
not
map
a
are we on?
Looks like the high desert just map, the
Yeah.
general map. And while he's not a bloodhound, Crazen will also like to sniff out the crime scene too, because he has pretty decent healing.
Rhea will stand around looking busy, and Mira will hop into one of the drones and kind of like start recording the crime scene.
So, Cinder, you managed to try to get ahead of everybody so you can get a good scent reading. So I need
Right?
So before anyone can really contaminate it, you instantly pick up the sense. Look at Frowny face. You instantly pick up the sense of the individual who's dead here. Human mutant. You can see it's a mild mutant. There is about 2 other individuals. One of them covered in machine oil. It masks their biological scent, unfortunately. But you do know it's like machine oil. Somebody who was probably working on a machine. There's also the faint scent of artificial lavender. Now, you can make that distinction. You can make the distinction between a naturally occurring lavender it's artificially created synthetic.
Mm-hmm.
You could also smell possibly that kind of ozone acrid smell that you get from somebody who's used a zap gun a lot.
Yeah.
Kind of gets in their hair and in their clothing. It's lingering in the air. Kind of old, but definitely there. The person themselves also has greasy palms, dirt under their fingernails. Their hair is a bit raggled. They're wearing a desert survival suit. You can see that there is definitely a knife wound in their side. And they bled out on the ground. The body hasn't been disturbed yet. Just been left there. So you've got at least some sense to go off of. You have an idea. You don't smell any lingering like fear that's coming like off of the body itself. There's shock. You do get that. It's still dry on the body. But if this wasn't prolonged.
Or is there a sense of anger or any other emotions in the air?
Frustration. It's definitely on it. You can smell that spike in adrenaline. A drop in serotonin. Red Rum, there's a lot of people here too. But you've got some good training when you were working with the detectives down in Greywater, and they've taught you a thing or two about how to like sort out emotions. And there's animosity, and it's fresh. It's lingering around the area. There's also some shame and guilt tied up in there as well. Doesn't have an exact location at the point.
Sure. So it's more like a lingering aura
Yeah.
than a current emanation.
And, yeah, thank you. An emanation coming off of the atmosphere.
Right. All right. Well, both Cinder and Red Rum will report these findings to the others as they arrive.
Oh, Doc?
Yes. All right. So that was the information you were able to garner with your keen senses and
Correct.
other capabilities. Understood. Now, that might help to be able to suss out the information out of a potential suspect. All right. I shall begin examination of the body. I will take into account the crime scene as a whole. Any noticeable or any noteworthy things? Any notable aspects on the body?
The knife wound that's protruding. That's again from the side. The desert clothing. You haven't touched it yet. Just these things that you can observe. Definitely a very large pool of blood. The blood itself has congealed, so it's a little older, starting to dry and soak into the concrete.
Ara, my young man. Continue the investigation of the body. I'll begin running a time schedule based on the desiccation of the blood.
Understood.
So Argo, what are you doing?
Well, Argo's actually never fully done this before, so he's very new at trying to figure out what in the world happened. So he's trying to get a good look without touching the body too much. Trying to see oh hey, maybe the size of the wound. Do we know what was it?
Yeah, so it looks like a knife wound. So you want to go with the wound. You want to examine the wound?
Yes.
All right, so the wound itself is 2 inches wide. That's a pretty big knife. The only thing, the depth of the thing, again, without poking it, you won't be able to determine the depth, but you can see it's wide. It's also very clean. In and out, quick. There's no serrated edge, no tearing. It went through a piece of stab-proof armor, Kevlar, he was wearing underneath his cloak.
Oh.
You can see the little fibers of the green material sticking out of the wound.
Well, that's interesting. Must have been very sharp.
And also, now as you're close enough, you can see that there's some purpling around his neck.
Oh. Maybe he got some. Well, that does seem quite interesting. Interesting indeed. I would like to look at the neck a little bit more. So, would we be able to see like the shape of the purpling?
Sausage-like fingers had grabbed this person on the back of the neck and squeezed violently.
Oh. So it appears the
Now,
target has been choked a little bit.
Now, that purpling could be old, it could be new. It's bruising. There's some yellowing on the edges, though, so it could be older than what the death wound is.
Still something to take into account.
Mm-hmm. You know, some kind of previous injury. See the little purple marks you guys put on the neck. That's great. So, in any investigation, you want to establish a couple things: who, what, where, when, and why. Who is this person? How do you figure that out?
Carefully rifle the pockets, see if there's any type of identification.
Yeah, rifling through the pockets. Yeah. And what about you, Doc?
Doc will start by using his entity scanner to identify the genetic makeup of the person, be they human, mutant, ghost mutant, etc.
Mild mutant. This one isn't in your databanks either. Newcomer. So not someone who stayed here multiple times. Hasn't been registered yet.
Doc will actually produce a notepad and begin jotting down information. Mild mutant, roughly, like height, weight, mild determinate age, hair color, eye color, teeth, etc. Information that he can use to potentially run by the watch.
So physical characteristics has the individual around late 20s. Teeth, okay, they're in okay shape. They could be better. Dehydrated, but also fairly normal out here. Dirty fingernails, dirty skin, definitely had traveled on foot. They have the distinct dose of radiation that comes from someone who's worked around power energy systems. Usually you got to be pretty close to a poorly shielded like energy relay,
Reactor
something
or
like
anything of that nature.
yeah. And it's you usually see technicians will have that kind of problem. There's trace amounts of iodine in his blood, so the guy has been taking treatment. His hands aren't really heavily calloused, though, so not really too much of a manual labor. They seem kind of soft. The boots are serviceable and good, but new. They don't have a lot of wear on them yet. The desert suit is also fairly well mended. It's not the first thing off the shelf, but it's definitely not a hand-me-down. This person probably wasn't accustomed to desert travel.
So possibly an out-of-towner, as it were.
So for Argo, going through his pockets, looking for any kind of identification, you find a service card for Greywater. He's some kind of technician or administrator. Got a little photo ID of him. It's got a QR code on it. Some kind of data stored on that, like little plastic card. He has about 20 silver on him. A penknife. And just underneath on his left hip, he has a holster. It's empty. No gun.
I don't think he was robbed. They didn't take any of his silver.
Not unless their only purview was that firearm.
Perhaps.
Argo, my boy, why don't you, Cinder, and Miss Rumred continue canvassing the area? Upon completion of your investigation, let me know, and I'll have one of the nurses bring the body to my autopsy lab.
Sounds good.
All right then. And Doc will scuttle away so he can prep his lab.
So with that, we have Mira got a drone taking telemetry.
Yes.
Oh yes, I forgot about Mira and them.
Think
I
of
imagined
crime
if
scene
anything else, you would have
photographs.
also asked Rhea with her sharp senses if she could keep an eye out for things in the general vicinity.
Crime scene photography.
Yeah, just have a recollection of the scene before they start messing with things. And Rhea will nod to Doc and keep an eye out. I mean, if you're done messing with the crime scenes, you can go and have a look around.
Yes, I have finished mine. The others are beginning their investigation of the surrounding locale. See if you can render them any form of assistance, and yes, with you, Mira, taking any kind of still graph or photographs of the area would be most helpful for this investigation.
I'll be sure to document everything.
Understood.
We were able to join the others and poking and prodding at the body and the surrounding area.
They've rifled through the pockets. They've done nothing really much else with the body.
So where is the body? Is it in a
It's in a warehouse.
It's in a warehouse.
Yeah. There's some piled
Close to
boxes
any
nearby.
Exits.
There's an exit that's screened by a pile of boxes that creates a U pattern around it. So this would have been like a concealed area.
Any signs of footprints or, foot scuffs on the ground?
Yeah, there's definitely just been a couple people who've trafficked through. You can see the ever-present sand that's everywhere, the dust that settles on things. You see a lot of these boxes hadn't been touched in a very long time. There's canvas covering most of them. They're printed off with stencil markings. It's all just replacement equipment for things. The foot traffic coming in shows 3 people. One heavy-booted with a drag step. That's probably the commander. He's got a limp. That's Commander Drell with his drag limp step. The other one is, unfortunately, average boot, desert, and it easily matches the person who's in front of you, dead. The last one kind of blended into the other, another average boot size. There is a unique issue with it, though. It's got a strange instep. The person rolls when they walk.
Any speculation as to what might cause that? An injury or a
medic?
type of? I do not.
Ilya does, if he could use that to ascertain that.
Yeah. Yeah, take intelligence. Type D.
Alright. Intelligence type D.
Crazen. I know what it is.
That's not Crazen, that's Crazen.
Yeah, I know.
Though Crazen is actually kind of smart. He's not that smart.
He's just sniffing it. Nice. I know these boots.
Doesn't like a bunch of other people here have medic.
Red's got my medic.
I was gonna say.
Let's go
'Cause
16
he
intelligence.
just missed it. Yeah. That'll do it.
I forgot. I keep forgetting Ray is retarded.
No, she's not. She's made
It's not
every one of her
retarded.
fucking intelligence checks today.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
She pulls out a pipe and starts puffing on it.
Well, plainly. the great rabbit detective.
I do believe the perpetrator has a rolled ankle.
It's a hip roll. The hip roll comes from someone being slightly bow-legged from riding a lot.
A rickety individual.
So someone who's been on a motorcycle, a long scout transport, horseback.
So, I have a quick question. Actually, that might help with this. For questioning the individuals Iliad requested to be, sectioned off for each other, would interrogation be a good use of that skill to, like, kind of suss them out? Okay. Does anyone else have interrogate? I know Cinder has it, right?
Yep, that too.
Okay. Anyone else have it? Because we got 2 rooms. I'd rather have at least 2 interrogators per room. Or 1 interrogator per room, I should say.
Yeah, so they can hear the screams in the other room. They're like, you gotta fucking cooperate. That's gonna be you.
I'm actually more asking if could anyone else have interrogation, because the only other person I have with interrogation is Krazen.
Well, then it seems you've answered your own question.
You are elected.
So I'll leave it up to Cinder. Who would he rather interrogate, keeping in mind that the other room is going to have to deal with Krazen? Would he rather interrogate the civilians or the guard?
I'll do the civilians.
All right. Great.
I'm more likely to have the lighter touch, and civilians are more fragile.
Yeah, the guard are familiar with Krazen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Krazen only has interrogation of 1, however, so he will have not as good of a time.
I should also note that Mira has the lying skill, so she might be able to pick up on people are lying.
True.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I think
Maybe she can play good cop, bad cop, Krazen.
Oh,
Cinder
boy,
can
yeah.
smell lies.
Yep.
Oh.
Don't forget, you got Red Rum as a.
Yeah, that too.
Cinder
But
and Red
if
Rum
it's-
can do 1, and then Rhea or Mira can try to keep fucking Krazen from eating people.
Yeah, that might be good. All right, so we're gonna go through the civilians, and among the things we're going to be looking for is, things like the footwear. Are they wearing anything that's not an average desert boot?
Mm.
We're also going to be looking for.
This monster's
actually-
wearing flip-flops with sandals.
We're
Years.
asking people to, walk around a little bit to see if they have that hip roll in their walk. And Romed is going to be doing her empathy scan. And what else does she have that might be of any use? Oh, she's going to radiate honesty with emotion inducement.
Oh, very nice. So Whiskey Tango, you're actually the one who's watching the civilians right now that are new to the base.
Mm-hmm.
You've got a group of 5. Now, the 4 of them are water traders. Up from Glenmore. It's a small caravan, 1 guard, 1 lumper, just to body the load and unload things. And then the merchant himself and what appears to be their child, who they're training as well, a teenager. There's another individual who is a member of 86. Says they're a android. They have a lot of cybernetics on their body. No indication if they're biological, like naturally, or if they are fully synthetic. It's a pretty convincing looking room. Now, these are the ones you were able to round up pretty easy that are like new here. There's a couple other civilians that are like long standing, have been staying here for a while, and they're not above suspicion, but they're also kind of known entities. These are the strangers. Did you want to do anything? Sort them first, or look at them, or is this Whiskey Tango just point his gun head at each one in turn? Like maybe it's this one. Cycle the gun a couple times. Yeah.
Probably pointing his gun or fucking with a chainsaw or something. That would be very much him.
Flexing intimidatingly.
Oiling the chainsaw, making sure the blades roll good. Like, might need this later.
The RGB just flashes brightly.
That's not like a psychedelic pattern as Red Rum comes up and induces honesty. So honesty inducement.
Any refreshing honesty come out?
It's
That robot is scary. He scares me.
yeah, right. Daddy, I don't like that robot at all. It's like, why does the kid talk like that? I don't know. So who do you want to?
It was clearly the child that killed him.
So who do you want to interrogate first?
Because it's elementary, I say.
Elementary. It was always the child.
I don't know about
Sharpie draws
interrogate,
a cocked eyebrow on his dome.
but I want both Rumred and Cinder to eyeball this person from 86. Cinder should be able to smell if it is actually an android, and Rumred should be able to tell if there's actually a biological brain there.
So Rumred's getting confusing signals from this one.
Okay.
There is biology. There is senses. There is there's a mind in there. It's definitely giving off like a slight psychic element. Nothing to really peer into. The person, whoever is in there, is actively dissembling. So they're basically like obfuscating what they're thinking. They're not subvocalizing. So they could just be meditating, very calm, or they just don't really have that inner voice. Now for Cinder, when you smell them, you've got nothing. This person's a blank. The only thing that really alerts you to the fact that they're probably partially biological is the way that they're respiratory and blinking it. It's not like an algorithmic process. It's random. Like you've because you have those processes. You recognize, like, just from the blinking, you have a program that runs that. And with this person, it's like, that's not a patterned program. That seems actually random. Those eyes are possibly real. Or their fake eyes controlled by a real reflex.
Okay. So that automatically makes him the high suspect. He does want to examine the other four strangers to see if there's anything in particular that stands out about them, but most of his attention is focused on this member of 86 person.
That's the one he wants to take in to interrogate first?
No, he wants to scan through the others to see if there's anything unusual about them, if they're not what they appear, if they have any particular emotions emanating from them, like, are they nervous, really, really nervous? Are they calm? Are they content? What's going on with them? But he's keeping an eye at all times on this member of 86 because he feels that that's the most likely suspect.
So the security guard that the water merchant has, this guy you've met before. His name is Mace.
All right.
He's a gunner. He's got an old pattern zap gun that's one of the more unreliable ones that he has tinkered on extensively. Now, Mace likes to gamble. You remember him the last couple times he's been up here escorting other water merchants. He always likes to kind of get into pocket a little bit, play a little cards, a little bit of dice. Generally, he does have an anger streak, but he's never let it blow up. Like, he'll stand up, ready to fight, and then he, something clicks, and he's like, all right, that was stupid, sit back down.
All right. Does he have that odor of zap gun, that the ozone that you were talking about?
Oh yeah, he's always fiddling with that weapon.
Always gets that from him. Anything about him with regards to his gait? Does he have any bow-leggedness or anything like that?
He does. He's spent a lot of time on a patrol craft, and so he does have that kind of like that horseman's, the cowboy gait. But then again, you look around and most of the soldiers around here, and so do they.
Right. I know it's not super unique. I guess he'll still, Cinder will still ask him if he's met any other newbies in the outpost recently.
You gonna isolate him like off to the side, or you gonna ask him? Okay.
Yeah, no, I'll bring him off to the side. And Rum Red will continue to just scan. She is gonna try, even though I'm not sure that it'll do anything, her new psychic shroud, that ability to negate mental stuff. On the offhand chance that it's something psychic, she's gonna try to nullify all mental mutations in the area.
So base, let's see, like, hey, what's this? What's Cinder? What's this about? Why you round us all up?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you.
If you could.
We're investigating a murder.
Oh shit! Who bit it?
Well, we don't know. He's somebody new. That's why I'm here asking you if you've seen or met anybody new here recently.
New? Yeah, we came up with another water merchant. He came up here to.
What?
Hmm?
Do I have the ID card? Does somebody have the ID card?
Yeah, I mean, you probably have a copy of it by now.
All right. I whipped that out. This fella?
Yeah, that's the guy.
You had a picture of it.
Yeah, I had a picture of him. Like, yeah, that's the guy.
Yeah, we knew he was coming from Greywater, so that fits. Anything you can tell me about him?
Yeah, I mean, his name's Caleb. Well, at least that's the name he gave us.
Sure.
I mean, pretty standard fare. He paid up front for the security. Got a deal because he was coming up with the rest of us. Kept to himself.
Didn't talk about anything. Didn't say why he was coming up to Porto or.
Well, okay. Now this is because of the honesty thing that Red Rum did. So
Right.
he says it's like, I mean, yeah, I don't. Cinder, you understand. I don't really want to talk about a client's like things they say, but I know that it's a murder and you'll keep it between us. And all secrets come out. But he was talking about some kind of debt with Drell.
With who?
Commander Drell, the watch captain.
Interesting.
Yeah, we're not talking like a large amount of money. It seemed to be something small, man, in the numbers of a couple hundred silver. But I guess he was going to use that as collateral to kind of like start a trade deal and some water supply back and forth, filters, couplings, things like that.
All right.
Other
than that, anything else come to mind as far as?
I mean, he had a
things you said or did?
He had a stake on the wagon, basic canister filters, some plastic fittings, a couple hoses, just stuff for the water filter system. He had put up his own money for a lot of it, but he had taken out speculation. He had taken out a speculation, I'm guessing, on the debt that Drell owed him. He was probably gonna have the base pony up for that.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if the debt's good or not. But...
Right. Well, it's good information. I appreciate your cooperation, Mace. And you go over there, you can just hang out till we dismiss everybody. And send them to a different area that folks, the processed area. Did I pick up anything from him? Any dissembling? Any
No, again,
know,
because of the honesty inducement, he just told you what he knew.
Sure. And I assumed as much, but I thought
Yeah.
I'd ask him. All right. I am going to try to quickly go through the others, the water trader, the teenager. Was there another lugger or something you said?
Yeah, a lumper. Basically somebody who just moves
Lumper.
heavy objects.
Got it. All right. I want to quick
Alright.
process them too.
So the merchant is Kita Ray. It's a glassy-eyed chemist who, he brews. He's pretty good at brewing stims, chemical stimulants, uppers, downers, but his big trade, his stocking trade, is water, and this is the filtration systems he brings up. His side business is chems. Now, you know that he distributes chems to the soldiers here. Relaxants, uppers, nothing that's gonna get him kicked out of the fortress if anyone. It's the kind of thing like the commander lets it slide because it's not disrupting the watch. It's not negatively impacting the men's disposition or their what do you call it, their combat readiness.
Right.
But he more or less is a cigarette dealer. He does
Right.
the low lying stuff. So Kita is he's not excited. He seems nervous when you bring him in. He's on the outside, he's controlling it, but on the inside, he is.
I'm gonna say that to him. I said, you said Kita Ray is the name?
Yeah, Kita Ray.
Merchant Ray. You seem nervous to me. Why is that?
All right. What did your witch do to me? I feel like I'm gonna spill all the fucking beans to you right now, and I do not want.
Call her a witch again, and I'll break your little finger.
Look,
Call her something else, and I might break more.
and so you can see the honesty inducements working on him too, because he
I'm being
never,
very honest too.
yeah, he never would have let that slip before.
Mm-hmm.
That he is like a closeted racist, or well, what did you call it when somebody hates like ghost mutants?
Prejudice.
Prejudice, yeah. That he has that is this naked,
bigot.
yeah, bigot, yeah. That he's bigoted towards ghost mutants or empaths,
Mm-hmm.
and
So-
he would have kept that locked up because that's bad business.
So he gets the impression from Cinder that Cinder has zero tolerance for that, and would not.
Look, I'm sorry, just she makes me nervous. I mean, we use them down in Greywater to make sure deals are clean. I get it. It's just she can look into my head.
In fact, she's trained by the folks in Greywater. So if you have an issue with their methodology, maybe we should take that back to Greywater and let them know.
No, my license would be at risk. Please, no, come on, Cinder, don't do that to me. I can't have that. Look, this has been the trade I'm going through right now is bad. It just,
How so?
I got a bad batch of algae down from high rise. It basically polluted a bunch of tanks. I lost just liters and liters of water.
Yeah, I hear their head biotech guy eloped from high rise. Could be some trouble with their biotech going forward.
I don't know if it was them or if it was something to do with it. It was a mutation. It doesn't matter. Look, I got a lot of bad product, and I know I got bad product, and Rel's not gonna pay up. And unfortunately, I took on a lot of speculative debt from Caleb, and now I can't fucking find him.
What kind of speculative debt? You had some kind of business deal you were trying to be part of?
Caleb said that he had that Drell, with the watch officer, he had some debt that he had accrued. Supplies and things like that, invoices that hadn't been paid. So we took on the debt with Greywater. We bought some supplies with credit, and we were going to bring them up here and trade them so I can kind of recapture some of the funds. I mean, we're going to give Drell, a deal on him. I wasn't going to try to hold him over the coals for the debt that he owes, but I needed the base to pay for these things. The base needs, water purification systems. It needs salts. It needs things to be able to filter out chlorines and I mean, they could use the bad algae as, like, I don't know, waste product.
Before anything goes further, Cinder's going to turn to WTF and say, I need you to get Sir Iliad. We may have a concern regards to the commander being more involved in this than first understood. I need him to take an lead on that. I'm not gonna go after the commander in this place on my own authority. Not a chance. But you need to get Iliad on that, please.
Whiskey beats before going off quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So
And I go back to Peter Ray and say, so did you have any dealings with Commander? Is it Drell, did you say?
Yeah, Drell. Yeah, he's been good before. He's always paid his invoices. It has been an issue. I think there was just some, missing dotted I's and crossed T's that didn't happen. I don't think it was really intentional.
I get that, but
There's some book balancing on our end.
Other than the bad algae, what's going down with the deals with Drell? You said you were going to give him a deal.
Well,
I don't understand what's going on.
I mean, we just got in a couple hours ago. I haven't really had a whole lot of time to establish it. I offloaded the goods. We already got them down in the warehouses. I was going to take on some other stuff for the fort that they needed, just courier courier job, bring it down to Greywater for them. And I hadn't, figured out when we were going to bring it. That's why I brought that lumper here in case they needed anything shifted.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to show my kid how the trade works.
Sure. So, you didn't check the algae when you got it from High Rise? Why? How is it you got such a big batch of bad algae?
I trusted the courier.
And,
I'm not going to blame the courier. Something in the gene stock of the algae mutated. It was in a generation or two of its development. It's alive. It's just not suitable for eating. I don't know what it's going to do to somebody. I don't trust it.
I don't know this for a fact, but the guy they call Doc here is super into research of all kind. He might actually take that off of your hands just to investigate the mutation. It would be a way to recoup some of your losses without just completely eating it.
That's good to know. Damn, Cinder, thank you for that.
Rum Red over here is, just got her certification for Master Herbalist, and she's always been big into dealing with algae strains, and she might be able to find some frickin' use for it. If it's not good for food, maybe it can be used for something else, and she can figure it out. Hell, if nothing else, maybe it can be good for fertilizing. Greywater is always looking for more fertilizer. Maybe we send it back to Greywater to fertilize the fields.
It's not a bad idea. I appreciate the idea.
Dry it out if it's not good for, as living algae. There's options here. I'm just trying to say don't lose hope and don't get involved in any shady, and I lean into him. I said, don't get involved in any shady business out of desperation. Is that clear?
No, that's clear, and I appreciate it.
Yeah. So I think you're a good fella. I want to see you succeed. But your fella Caleb ended up dead, and you need to figure out who.
Caleb's dead?
Yes, he's dead. That's why I'm talking to you.
Oh shit! I thought this was a shakedown on some bad tech or some bad IDs or something. You gotta be fucking kidding me. The man's dead. How did he die?
He got a knife in the side. Big knife. Sharp knife. Anybody you know carry a big sharp knife?
Fuck.
Really sharp knife.
It's like, I think, like, he takes a minute to think, he's like, fucking soldier in the fort.
Yeah, not this kind of knife. This kind of knife can go through armor like it's nothing. That's not a typical knife. I got knives. He pulls out a knife. I got plenty of knives. And he stabs himself in the tactile arm. Hey, you notice it's not going through my armor like it's butter. Hey, guess what? This is a normal knife. That's not what we're looking for.
He sits there and thinks about it for him. He's like, you know, Caleb looked kind of weighed down. I didn't know he was wearing any kind of armor underneath that
Stab plate.
stab plate.
Under
Shit.
the clothing.
I
So
mean,
he
I
may
don't.
have known something was coming because that's not typical. I mean, most of us just wear our armor on the outside like normal people.
Yeah, I mean, I when I go
Frickin'
across the
Epoch.
desert.
It's the freaking Epoch guy. I mean, it's dangerous out there, so nobody's shy about wearing armor normally.
No, I
What the
know.
hell is going on?
I mean, in the open desert, I don't even really bother with it, to be honest. I mean, that 2 kilometers, sniper's gonna get you no matter what.
True that too.
And it's just too much weight to carry
But
when you got all that
specifically, it
water.
was a stab vest, and he got
Stab.
stabbed through it.
I heard Caleb frequented a lot of the rougher establishments down in Greywater. Maybe that was just, I don't know, maybe that was his
Plenty
normal.
of those. Tell me something that's actually meaningful, because rough establishments in Greywater is like every other establishment, if not more.
I mean, that's fair to say, but I
How rough
don't.
are we talking here? I mean, rowdy, they're all rowdy. Violent, 90% of them are violent. Murderous, now that's a smaller percentage. They tend to frown on murder, so people get tossed in the games or pulled apart by tractors, or bad things happen to people like that in Greywater. So that's not so common. What kind of bad people are you talking about?
That's how he thinks about it. Like, I mean, I heard some rumors about Caleb.
Mm-hmm.
All right, this is rumor. All right,
Mm-hmm.
there's this thing in Greywater called the Black Pipeline.
Okay.
You know how they got to use water in order to keep all the power generation systems cooled down?
Totally.
All right, so they kind of do this thing, and they cut some of the irradiated water and the clean water together. It's not so much that it's going to cause anybody any harm. It's a low-level dosage, but it adds a couple liters to the shipment. Not enough of it, get a couple percentage extra.
Yeah, shit. Well, they didn't call it Greywater for nothing.
Well, I mean, it's a rumor. I don't know if he was involved in that trade or not.
Mm-hmm.
You can check my stuff. I'm just selling filters. I'm not selling raw water. And none of my shit's, all my stuff's clean. I mean, you can go down and check, man. I mean, I kept my goods separate from his. His stuff is boxed up in another. He's got his own boxes down in the warehouse.
Actually, that's an excellent point. Rum, make sure we get someone down there to check over the goods of this Caleb, and just to be complete, cross-check it with Mr. Ray's stuff. Make sure we don't find anything questionable in either person's belongings. So she's gonna step out briefly just to pass that word along.
I'm gonna move over to another character just to keep moving.
Absolutely, please do.
Sweet. So we've got Whiskey Tango moving over to Iliad.
At this point, Iliad actually will greet Whiskey Tango in binary.
Whiskey responds back quite hurriedly, saying that, well, Iliad is needed by the others for what sounds like legal shit. The thing is, Whiskey isn't stupid. He just can't talk.
Yeah.
He's got like a 30 intelligence.
Yeah.
So,
Needed by what others?
Mr. Cinder. I got too many people in my head. Sorry.
So you're gonna stop? Maybe stop by. You hear Krazen's got the door open. And he's interrogating a soldier.
Probably.
What does that look like?
So okay, we're going to Krazen now.
Yeah, it's Krazen and was it Krazen and Rhea?
Mira.
Mira.
Mira, Krazen and Mira sitting there interrogating somebody.
Mhm. So much the same way, Krazen, while when it comes to combat, borderline psychotic with anything he does, he's still an intelligent soldier when it comes down to it. As being said, he is trained in interrogation and communications, apparently. That being said, yeah. So he also makes it a point to separate them so he can interrogate them one-on-one with Mira. And most his thing is trying to frustrate the guards, while Mira can act more like the level head, because Krazen is very accusatory to their mishap, as to why this murder just took place on their watch.
So there's the first person you have in there is somebody who has pretty. So I'm assuming Krazen decided to interview people that have contact with these individuals.
Mm-hmm.
Like the reason why, like who did he choose?
So take that forward.
So it was all the guards who were rounded. All the guards who were rounded up, who were supposed to be patrolling within this area.
Gotcha. All right. So one of the first ones you bring in there is this guy. His name is Silas Creel. Silas Creel. Everyone calls him Tin Mouth. Is Tin Mouth. That's
Okay.
so. Silas is a bit of a eccentric tinkerer. He's got an old retrofitted tank shell that he's also quite small. So he has a large tank shell that he has actually retrofitted into some kind of home that he rolls in and out of. He is a parasite. Just without a body to walk around in. He claims that he's deaf, though everyone knows that he's not. He just pretends he is.
Right.
Yeah. And, it's just one of those things to get out of work duties. Not that he could really man a gun anyways. He's kind of he's around in the fort because he's small, he can get into stuff and he can fix things. He does have some odd habits. One of them is he's literally, one time he got in trouble because he had a bunch of documentation of the entire fortress and ways to undermine the walls, the energy systems, the barrier defenses, the radios, the radio communication arrays. And he did it as a way of building better defenses for those, to harden those systems, but he plays his own war games against his own designs. And, it's not great to just have documents of how to take down a wall for the fort just lying around in your little tank shell home.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's, sitting there all, 16 centimeters of him, staring at you with one big eye and one small eye with his tentacles hanging around. Some of them looking like weird palpitating tendrils, other ones looking like small cruel hooks. So, what we doing?
Krazen looks at Mira, and Mira would recognize this look of, I want to eat this thing. You, Tin Face.
Mouth, but it's fine.
Who you patrol with?
Right. I was on patrol with Bite. Bite's he's a salvaged android.
Crazy kind of perks up and then goes on to say, "Whereabouts you watch? Why was warehouse left unwatched?"
The warehouse. The warehouse. Yeah, about the warehouse. See, Bite had a malfunction. You know, I had to go get him treated down at the mechanic, down at the robot bay. He's having issues with his leg. Yeah, a trick leg. He falls apart sometimes.
Crazen looks at Mira.
Is that true?
What?
Is that true?
I mean, it's true. Go check with Bite. He's down. I left him over there.
Do you have the report from him for that?
Do I got a report for it? I mean, come on. Look at me. I got tiny little hands. I can't reach the keys.
No inventory.
Inventory report?
Wait, so he said he's at the
Must have taken
mechanic?
supplies.
Huh?
I'm sorry, he's at the mechanic?
Yeah. He's put so the android named Bite. He put him over at the mechanics. He's like getting his leg
Wait, hold-
fixed.
So that's where Crazen is always at. Would he have seen them come by?
Yeah, Bite's always getting things fixed.
But lately, meaning the leg.
Yeah, Bite did come in along with Silas earlier. I mean, Bite might be over there, but it's been a little while. You were busy, like fitting together the last bits that you needed on your vehicle.
I mean, that's also kind of where Mary hangs up too, but she's mostly repairing the big old bag.
Bite's constantly falling apart. Like every single time they put something new on him, he finds some way to break it. He's got some kind of like persistent corrosion.
Who you tell you left patrol to fix Bite?
Well, I didn't really tell anybody. I mean, there's nothing down there. I mean,
You
just
left
some boxes.
area unguarded.
Mirror ticks off something on like a digital checkpoint or whatever, like a dereliction of duty.
That, yes.
Wait, what?
Please tell us more.
You abandoned post.
I didn't abandon the post. The post is still there. Like, come on. You're acting like somebody died.
Where did you go after?
I went to go get a cuppa. So he's drinking on duty.
Yeah.
Abandoned post. Intoxicated while serving.
Well, no, I didn't get intoxicated. I'm in here now. Didn't get a chance for it.
We ever get how long the body has been there?
No, you haven't established that. You'll have to ask Doc. He's doing the autopsy.
Okay, yeah. Praising radio's Doc in his brain.
All right. Doc.
Asking, how long ago die?
Must you all interrupt me during my work?
Yes.
You hear the sound of like unoiled squeaking wheels. I'm gonna bring up the analysis from the dried blood and from other post-mortem examinations I've done.
So you're looking at roughly 3 hours since the last time this guy died, or since he died. Liver temperature puts at correlates with that about 3 hours. But he's been left sitting there cold on the ground. There is some oddities in Caleb's body. Again, he has a little bit more radiation than he should in his system, which you detected like right away when you first scanned the body. Dirty fingernails, machine oil underneath them. He was working with something. The stab wound, the weapon that was used, did leave some trace material inside the wound.
Excellent.
So you found little bits of metal fragment. And it's deep. Like they got in there, severed artery. They basically went in, they nailed through the liver, punctured the abdomen, got down to it severed the aorta. It was a killing blow. He would insanguinated in a second.
All right. I'll give Krazen the exact details I've gotten regarding time of death. A little bit of information regarding some of the debris left in the body. Basically, I'm going to give him the information that he needs in order to continue to accost this person, while, continuing my actual autopsy so that I can garner as much information as humanly possible. Or in this case, superiorly possible.
So with the steel, do you have any weaponsmithing or armor or mechanical?
Yes, mechanical.
Okay, so you'll be able to kind of figure out a bit about the steel. So give me intelligence type E. And we're gonna go. So Krazen, the body's 3 hours old, which puts it before their patrol would have started.
Who did you relieve?
Brother Thorn. So Brother Thorn, he's a kind of a religious weirdo. He signed up about a year ago.
Doc is good to go on his.
So this would have been before any of these guard shifts that this happened.
Yeah. So Brother Thorn was the one that they both relieved. That Bite and
are these the only two guards?
Silas. Well, that would be 3. So you had Bite and Silas Tinmouth were on patrol together because they need to be.
But there's no one else like aside Bite.
Yeah, and Brother Thorn.
Yeah. Okay. Then Krazen just points out the door. Go get Thorn.
All right, I'll go interrupt him in his desert absolutions.
Later if you want.
So he leaves to go collect Brother Thorn. Now, going back over to Doc, you made your check. That metal is machine hardened. So blades,
Type of weapon.
yeah, things that are going to see a lot of heavy wear and tear, see a lot of repeated use. It was tempered very, very well. It's also highly pure. It's an alloy, but it doesn't have a lot of like stray carbons in it. It's a good steel.
Fascinating.
Traces of vanadium, nickel, cobalt, so it's rustless too.
I will say, actually, I'm just gonna make an addendum. Krazen's gonna escort this guy there.
Oh, okay.
After
Two brothers.
After thinking about it, and he invites Mira. He'll invite Mira to accompany.
Prevent him from eating him.
Mm-hmm.
Where's Argo during the examination of the body?
Thought he was examining the body.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
for the crime scene and the body at the time. Now Doc has it on his autopsy table.
Yeah, I don't know if Argo's there too, because he is also
If he wants
knowledgeable
to
in
be.
this. Yeah.
Yeah, Doc
Sure.
would be more than happy to have extra eyes.
Yeah. Laptops in the body sounds fun.
So Argo, you've got the body on a slab in front of you. It's been stripped of all of its clothing. It's got a stab wound in its side. It's got those purpling marks around its neck. Anything else you want to look at on the body?
No, I don't really know. Argo doesn't technically have medic. He's actually been trying to learn.
He's got bioengineering though, right?
He does have bioengineering.
Yeah. That kind of gives like medic is also a bedside manner. It's like how to repair people. You can deconstruct them.
So just do the opposite of what I normally do.
Yeah.
Basically. Or what you normally do in this case.
Sounds good.
You can take a raw in check if you don't know like what to do yourself. Like when you're looking at a body
I'm
that you
gonna take
want
a
to
raw
look at.
in check because
Okay.
I'm
Type C.
blanking.
That's alright. Type C.
That'd be a 7.
That's a yeah, you nailed
Wow.
it. Okay. So there's certain things that you're going to want to check. Eyes for hemorrhaging. You're going to see the hyoid on the throat to see if that's been fractured. You want to see if he has any other identifying marks on his body. Puncture wounds, struggle marks, his hands, was he in an altercation or a fist fight? Like, what story is this body going to tell you? What are the different things you can find from it that kind of reconstruct the last couple of days of this person's life? And that's, kind of what you're going to want to sift through to create a narrative. So knowing that, what do you want to look at first? What in his body? You want to look at this, like what did he eat? What did he digest? What was he consuming? What was he, where was he going? How does his feet look? How does his toes and nails? His cleanliness?
Let's look from bottom to top, I guess.
Start at the feet.
Yep.
All right, he was definitely walking a lot recently. It's got some blisters on the bottom. Those boots that he had, the new ones, not used to wearing them.
Okay.
Going up into the shins, there's some bangs around the areas of his shins, old bruises. Like he was moving around something clumsy, not really good at climbing around a lot. Get to his lower back, and he has some pretty nasty bruises around the kidneys. Those ones are old. They've been healing up, but someone really beat him up pretty good. You're surprised they never cracked a rib in the process, because they're pretty extensive. They kind of like make a whole pattern up his back and ribs. The mark around his neck and the back of it, and now that you're looking at it closely again, it was something very large grabbed there. It was held tight. But it doesn't come around to under the chin or the throat. So it wouldn't have been life-threatening. There's also, his eyes were hemorrhaged. So he lost blood to his brain at some point, and he was struggling to breathe. Like something happened. There's a lot of blood in his mouth, ostensibly from the wound that he took in his side. So something got into his stomach and got coughed up to his throat. Other than that, you can see that his last couple meals are pretty standard. Algae. Kind of weird. It's giving off a lot of methane. He would have been gassy, like farty. Nobody start drawing brown marks coming out of this thing's butt. I'm seeing more art going on in the body. I'm like, oh god, I just called him gassy. It's gonna be bad. You do see the telltale sign of a failed battery explosion on his right hand and across his forearm. He had a las weapon that discharged. His zap gun discharged incorrectly. It burned him. The wound is pretty recent.
And where is that at?
It's on his right hand.
Thank you.
Stinky. But you know he had a holster without a zap gun.
Oh, then. I found some sort of evidence about his weapon. That's something.
You can poop fingers.
Poop fingers. Got the really long fingernails where he can't properly wipe his butt. Acrylic nails. Poop
Got
fingers.
the motor oil under there again.
Yeah. So what do you want to do with that information?
Want to make sure Doc has it because he seems to be the other person I'm trying to do this with. Make sure I have it jotted down somewhere so that it's in writing of some sort.
Excellent deductions, my boy. You're getting better and better at your medical training.
Thank you, sir.
What do you make of this? As I produce the pieces of metal. I know you are far more skilled in the mechanical sort. He gingerly puts it down onto a petri dish for him to look at. This was apparently lodged inside of the flesh, or inside of the wound. It's quite an intriguing make. I have a
Interesting.
crude spectrum analyzer over there if you would like to.
Argo would like to do that. And if possible, roll an intelligence check to figure out some sort of idea what it is.
Yeah, type D. Yeah, got it again. 21 out of 68. So you can tell the things that the Doc had picked up already, even stainless steel. A lot of it high quality. Now, the ability to produce metals of this quality are kind of lost to most areas. There's only a few factories that are going to be able to produce metals like that, and that's 86 in Unity. Now, each place has their own impurities, like that are kind of like ID stamps on materials they make that are mass produced. You don't have enough of a sample here to be able to pick that out. But there is enough here that whatever blade had gone into this person should be chipped.
Well then, that's good to know. Well, should be a chipped blade. That should make it somewhat easier to recognize. Stainless steel, well made.
Yeah. As Doc will scuttle over to see what he's looking at. A chipped blade of that quality would definitely be a little easier to identify.
Indeed.
We should relay this information to the others who are currently examining the witnesses.
Agreed.
Well, I suppose suspects would be the more appropriate term, yes?
Suspects would be.
Doc fetches a ornate pipe out of his desk, opens up the little trapdoor for the artificial mouth and puts it in there.
What is he sucking on?
A pipe.
Okay.
An ornate smoking
It's
pipe.
just hanging out from the bottom of his fucking brain jar. Okay. He instantly grows a mustache. Yeah, it instantly grows a mustache on the front of the brain jar.
Now I have one of those. Pulls out a fake mustache with a
Just little handlebar mustache. It's a monocle and a top hat. A bowler cap. She.
I leave it to you, boy. You're doing God's work.
Understood.
Yeah, now to get into the... As he starts making further incisions, nitty-gritty of the course or sap. He's also going to start trying to identify what mutation he had.
Yeah, spare heart. And the blade ripped.
The hearts?
Yep, the blade went right through the spare.
Went through the spare, you said?
Yep.
Oh.
This person knew they had a heart.
Argo, my boy. We may be dealing with somebody who knew this victim.
Oh,
See?
more information.
It's like tilt the heart to show the stabbing. It's like,
No.
this person knew that there was a heart where it's not supposed to be. Too clean and precise of a cut to indicate, just a lucky stabbing. We're dealing with a professional.
Good to know. I will add this to the report when I send it over.
Thank you very much.
So Argo starts running over to where the interrogations are.
All right.
Kindly
So
locks on the door.
which one you going to? You going to like where they're
Wait for just a...
where you've got Brazen and Rhea sitting there grilling a parasite, or are you gonna knock on the door where the Cinder's at?
Which one's more interesting?
Why aren't we using our radios?
Because you don't want to have open communication, maybe?
Okay.
I think that's probably. Let's go with the first option.
The killer might be listening.
Be any one of us. Even be me.
Krazen attacks Mira.
Argo goes to Craven and Mira first. Reports his findings of it would be
So,
depends.
so
Are
at this
they,
point,
trying to murder the person?
yeah, so at this point, they would have been leaving with Tinmouth in order to go see Bite. You catch them
No.
like leaving the room.
Not Bite. We're going to go to get what's his face? Religious Nut.
Oh, okay. You gotta go get the. All right, yeah,
The guy they relieved.
yeah. You gotta get
Been
Brother
on-
Thorn.
Brother Thorn. Yeah. Krazen stops and looks up at the scientist with his big rat face.
So we has the good news. Well, kind of good news. So we know what kind of blade it was. It was a stainless steel, a very good stainless steel blade. And with the cut how it was, it managed to chip the blade. That's what we found actually was some metal chips. Yes, and this person must have known the victim because he managed to hit a reserve heart.
Krazen glares down at Tin Face.
What?
No, it's not Tin Face.
Tinmouth. Yeah,
I know, but Krazen just doesn't respect this guy.
yeah. No.
He's
Yeah,
a little-
what?
You know this one?
No,
What was his
who?
name? What's his name?
Caleb, the dead man.
No, the Krazen was genuinely asking because he wasn't informed of the
Oh.
victim's name. Oh, Caleb. Okay. Yeah, you know Caleb. Ugh, your human name's so weird.
Just shrugs like, who's Caleb?
Let me see knife.
So he like gives you a small feather razor blade that he has like with a little bit of like dental floss string on the bottom of it to make a shank.
Krazen hands this up to Argo. Collaborate.
Yeah.
I'll take a quick look at the blade, see if it is what he's looking for.
It's an
Probably not, but-
it's an exacta knife tip. So basically, it's like 1 centimeter across, and this blade was a lot wider.
Sadly, no.
Okay. You off hook so far. Not yet, though. Krazen then throws the knife back at Tinmouth and then directs him. Go, we got Brother Thorn.
And he's sitting there playing, you gotta chip my knife, and he puts it in his little tiny holster in his body.
Going to eat this one.
So he's like, all right, let's go with the Brother Thorn. And you get over to a section of the fortification, which is clear white sand. It's sitting in the middle of it, stripped to his waist.
I'm back.
And,
Apologies.
I'm sorry, just in his fatigues at the bottom, is a man who is very dark and standing in front of a ring of rocks that he's put out, and he's going through blade forms. He has a long sword in his hands, held two-handed, and he's going through each of the different stance positions that are crossing across this kind of like strange pattern network that he's created. Does anybody have fencing? That's there? No.
The mouse who's not
The
here does.
mouse, yeah. So you
Cinder
would
does
have
not there.
yeah. So you actually would have seen the the mouse do this. It's a fencing circle practice that's used in order to like just engage and deflect. It's all the different points.
Dance fighting, no fun.
Yeah, dance fighting.
You, Brother Thorn.
He salutes the empty air, brings himself the rest. You see he has a heavy sweat across his body. And he puts the weapon away and turns and looks at you with red within, like mutated red eyes. Yes, Crazen?
Crazen picks up the tank shell with his claw and holds it up. This one relieve you from duty?
His browless eyes, you can see them, they just widen a little bit because he's completely hairless. And he looks, yes, Pinmouth relieved me of duty.
Crazen then drops Tinmouth.
Ah!
With a wet, slick, and unceremonious flop.
He's like sitting there just like, I swear the moment you die, I'm going to inhabit your body and do terrible things to it.
You will be my digested tract soon. Leave.
Eat
Can't see
me!
any worse than he's already doing to himself now.
And he crawls away. Like a hermit crab with his fucking tank shell.
And Crazen looks back up at the man. You watched Warehouse about 3 hours ago, yes?
Yes, I have.
Who all entered? Who all left?
He looks at you, he's like, a traitor. They were bringing down inventory. Water merchants.
1, 2, how many?
A boy, and what I assume to be a Arius servant of Lumper.
So the lumper, the boy. Are all these merchants wearing the desert survival gear, or was it just the victim?
They're all wearing it.
So just the 2 of them. You know
Man,
their names?
the boy, no. I think it's Kita's son. The Lumper I've never seen before.
Can Mira again? Crazy will look to Mira, see if she picks up that if he's being truthful or not.
If that's something Merrick can suss out.
You are currently under a truthoscope.
Mira, do you want to take a perception check?
Sure. I don't know. Okay. Let me know when I should be taking checks here or not.
Yeah. IP.
Oh god, her reception is horrible. Oh, that was the wrong character, but no, she nailed it.
Okay, yeah, that's a 3. And she got it in spades. Okay, so Brother Thorn is outwardly very calm, but there's minor betrayals that he is very angry. Little shakes to his hands, quivering of the eye, tensing in the muscles. And these are not things for fatigue. Like the exercise he was doing is called the Thibault circle, or the Spanish circle, fencing circle, and he wasn't really doing it like rapidly. He was going through it like a calming exercise. Now, you do know that he is some kind of religious nut. He is obsessed with purification. The idea of like the purity of all things, and that the world itself, he comes from a religion that like their whole goal is to turn the high desert back into the garden it once was in their belief system, and that it exists in its present state as a punishment for the sins of the past, and that it's their like mission to return it back to its Eden-like state. So their order were the ones that planted the green wall and the dead wood, and helped with the people of Hyaki Yagyo in order to create a lot of like different plantoid colonies that were destroyed when Bittertoe fell.
So noticing this little emotional state there, so she'll remark, "Are we disturbing you? You seem a little tense."
I had an angry moment. I am attempting to purify the anger from me.
What angers you?
These water merchants. As he says, as he looks towards the area where the warehouse was. I had a look at their goods and feel it coming from them. Radiation. Foul. Contamination. That man stank. He had consumed something rotting.
The Ludger?
No.
No.
The water merchant. When they came in with their caravan.
I see. But he was not in the warehouse.
No, he was not. I believe his name was Caleb.
Crazen blinks his eyes, claiming that he was not in the warehouse that their body was found dead.
Yeah, so basically what he said is that he never saw Caleb in the warehouse. He saw the lumper and the boy, but he did see Caleb when they came in. And he says that he stank like corruption, and there was something wrong with like their shippage. It had some kind of corrupting. This guy's a mutant. He might have the ability to sense radiation.
This angered you?
It's impure. It's foul and disgusting.
The boy and Lumper, they carry anything with them when they enter warehouse?
Yes, they brought that foul thing down into the warehouse with them.
Foul thing. Container, box.
It was a box.
Bag, rolled up carpet.
It was
Okay.
It was a shipping box, stamped and labeled from Greywater. You can feel it like a septic foulness, a slick of oil across the seawater. Wanted nothing more than to be away from it. Made me feel unclean.
But at no point does Caleb enter the warehouse during your shift.
No, I did not see him. He was conversing with the commander.
Commander,
Yes, Dell. We were having some kind of argument.
argument. You hear what?
I do not make a habit of listening to the conversations of my superiors.
That's why you Hugies don't go anywhere. Listen. We need to talk amongst ourselves. You stay here. And Crazen's gonna kind of lead Mira outside.
Mhm.
So Mira has a communicator, right?
Yeah, I would say that she's able to be tapped into the communication system.
So Crazen messes with his head and then will mess with her communications as well to go to a closed private channel between the two of them.
Okay.
This makes no sense.
What seems to be the issue?
Why would he not see man who died go in to the warehouse? Body being dead for 3 hours. That's when he was on shift. We either have to go back another shift or figure out why the commander and this man was arguing.
I'll split up.
Yes.
Do you wish to speak to the commander?
I keep you close in my head in case something goes wrong.
Great. Great.
So, how we divide this? You want me to look for commander, or do you want to?
You should prefer the commander. I'll check over the God's company.
Crazen nods, and then he's gonna, start walking away, trying to look nonchalant as soon as before he hits shadow, and then is going to. He's actually gonna sneak his way to circle back to try to get that scent of the commander again and try to track him down.
Commander Drell, man.
Yes.
He's cooling it right now at the enlisted pub. Just having a drink, water, sitting down just underneath the fan out of the sunlight. You pick him up pretty quickly.
He radios back to Mira. This was really easy.
Yeah, he wasn't hiding.
Yeah. Should I interrogate? Do we get Iliad? Or what do?
Bring him in for questioning.
Oh, yes. And then Krazen's gonna do his little rat crawl to, go up to the commander. Not to sneak up, but, just be noticeable, but just in his weird radish way.
So, sitting at the table with Commander Drell, you didn't notice them till you came up, is a rabbit.
Oh no.
Mm,
This one has mottled colored fur, brown, white, and grays. One of its ears has been cut off. One of its eyes is cyberized. It regards you for a moment as it comes up and gives a wolfish, as much as a rabbit can do, grin. And Drell's like, "Easy, Vex." Vex like, "What? I wasn't gonna do anything weird. What do we got here, little rat man? Come on up here. You want a cookie? Want a biscuit?"
Krazen will speak, the radio is attached to his brain, so he pretty much can just communicate out of it at will. So he does this as nonchalantly as possible and says, "Greetings, Vex." Just in case, Mira or Rhea would know this one.
Yeah, Rhea, you know who Vex is. Vex is he's a merchant, scaver, all black market. Vex does nothing above board. Unfortunately, Vex is also the reason why, if you need materials that are hard to come by, Vex is the guy who does it. You just don't ask where it came from.
You hear Mirror or Ray over the speakers like, "Fuck, Vex, what's he doing here?"
Very interesting to see more rabbits here.
Very interesting to see Rat here.
Krazen is in employment.
Don't they call you? Did you get a new name? I think I saw you fight. Was it Fuego?
You may call me that.
Yeah, I like it. Good fire. Hey, Drell, what do you want with this dude? Drell just it's Vex, come down. It's nothing. What do you need?
Your commander, Iliad, has update needs speak with you in person with.
Understood. He takes a final drag from the cigarette he was working on and puts it out on the table. And Vex you weren't done with, I could have finished that. He just kind of sniggers at Vex and takes the burnt end of it and puts it in a little tin. And fuck off, Vex. Vex just looks at him all right, cool. Yes, whatever. Fine. Fuck you too. And Drell's all right, lead the way.
Yes. Iliad, not Krazen, nods and kind of gives a lingering glare at Vex before continuing back to the to relink with the group. before that, did Iliad ever learn what he was supposed to actually be doing? Because if Whiskey Tango didn't tell him, he was just going to go to Cinder directly to ask.
Why don't you do that then?
Okay, so after unsuccessfully deciphering what these legal matters that were brought up, Iliad will approach Cinder. Asking for the room.
Asking for the
Like, just for him and Cinder to be in there. He doesn't want who is being questioned currently listening in on it.
Cinder will step out then, because we're not going to clear them. We can just step out.
Yeah, let him
Very
cook.
well. Very well. So, Whiskey Tango informed me that we have some legal issues with the group.
I don't know about that. I was trying to convey to Whiskey Tango that it could be a political thing, because your Commander Drell is somehow caught up in all this. And it appears there's some debt that Drell owed, and there was some business dealings with the murder victim name of Caleb, and also with the other water merchant that came up, this Kata Ray. And I don't know exactly, but it seems that we may need Commander Drell to be brought in for questioning too. And that just seems above my pay grade.
It's like
You, on the other hand.
Crazen's walking in with Commander Drell.
And then he glances over and says, "Oh, damn, you're fast."
That was fast. Holy shit. Very well. Before quickly turning away, Elliot will ask, and then you cleared the surviving merchant? He is without guilt of this?
I think so. It's still an ongoing process. There's a fella in there. Says he's from 86. Something weird about him. I think he might be Unity instead. I don't know. Something weird about him. I've encountered this kind of thing before. And he taps the side of his nose. I can't pick up anything. That's odd. I normally can tell if someone's an android. I can't tell with this guy. And Rum Red said, taps the side of his head, something's going on. But like, she can't tune in. She knows it's there, but she can't tune in. So I don't know who all is involved in what. This fella's weird.
I see.
Just thought you should know.
And I appreciate your ongoing investigation with this. But
he might not even be related to the murder, but he might be a problem of another kind.
Keep a close eye on him. We want to be careful before we mention the enemy in our gates, but if it comes down to it, I know you can handle yourself.
Oh, yeah.
With that, Iliad will go and link up with Krazen and the commander.
So Commander Drell, he stands there. Sir Iliad, what do you need from me?
Iliad looks down at Krazen. Where's your partner? Krazen's looking around, seeing if Mira's nearby. What?
She comes back with stack papers.
Oh. He points at that. All right. We need to talk somewhere in private. Mira will accompany us.
Very well.
Malady.
I expected I'd be questioned. As he looks around, yeah, of course. Into the interrogation room.
Yes.
So he gets inside and he's like, may I sit, sir?
If you're more comfortable that way.
That knife wound in my leg from last week is still aching. Doc did his best to patch it up, but I'm still dragging that toe. He takes a seat, and you see his face visibly relax from the pain that was in his head. All right. So, how do we want to do the interrogation?
I would like to be straightforward about this. I have this mirrors here to show that we have impartial third party.
So all cards on the table?
All of them.
Okay. Let's see, where do I start?
I killed him, you see?
Yeah, kid, I agree. Yeah, fastest
Out of
investigation.
love, crime of passion.
Well,
Also, at this time, Krazen is going to look for Vex once more, actually.
Crazy's gonna go back and look for Vex.
Mhm.
All right,
Or you
so
can later.
with so sitting at the table, he goes, all right, so I didn't really know this guy Caleb at all. He came up as a merchant buddy with Kitai. He did, you know, he brings somebody on board every now and then. I owe him, I got a debt with him. Some invoices weren't balanced correctly. I came up on the bad side of it, and I owe him a couple thousand silver. He thinks it's only a few hundred. I know it's more like 2,000. Basically, he was going to come up here, trade some filters out. I was going to take it out of my own paycheck with the fort and restock some supplies we had recently consumed. All the documentation's already there. I've already had the paymaster deduct it from my wages for the next few months, so it wouldn't hit me all at once. And I'm going to step back on the dicing.
I see. So that's your dealing with this Caleb individual?
Well, Caleb's a new thing to me. Before I saw him dead on the ground, I only see him when he came in.
You only saw him when you came in. No interactions.
I mean, small things, just kind of checking over their equipment, you know, things they had, what they were trading in. If he had any kind of weapons on him, he just had a sidearm.
Mirrors this match with what you and Krazen found out?
I think so.
What about that
So they-
sidearm?
It blew up, didn't it?
You know that Drell just said that he had a sidearm on him. The holster's empty.
What's sidearm?
I spaced it for a second. It's
Objection!
Yeah. Yeah, he had a shitty zap gun, you know, something home built.
yes, it improperly discharged and damaged and injured his hand.
That was not
Yeah,
on his
right.
body.
Yep.
That was not on his body when we found him.
Well, I don't know where it could have gotten to. I mean, obviously, it's could have been the killer disarmed him.
Did we find any discharged zap guns at the scene of the crime, Mira?
No. I don't think anybody looked at her.
Take an intelligence check. Type B.
Okay.
Or Amira. Or memory recall.
Can Iliad do that? He was at the crime scene.
Sure.
I mean, what about Ray? Ray was poking
Can
through the
Iliad
crack scene.
smell?
Oh, that's right. Iliad can't smell. He can't.
Okay.
He ain't got shit, man. He barely has eyes.
Probably for back.
Put that 16 in. Alright, Mira's got it. Type B? I think she still got it.
That's definitely getting with a type B.
Yeah. There was the smell of a energy discharge, like a zap gun, like the head had been used.
All right, weapon of the discharge.
Now, it smelled like the smell that was lingering in there was that smell you get when somebody uses one a lot, but one that's poorly shielded, it would have let off all of that at once. So, sounds like he got a shot off.
Just one, but it didn't. Mira, you gotta bring that up. If Ilya can't smell.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure mention that. Weapon had been discharged. Possibly quite frequently. But there ain't no weapon that was found. Okay, you gotta bring me back in the loop because I have no idea what the fuck's happening right now.
So, you know that a weapon was discharged. That was detected when you guys were down there. You know that the individual had a weapon when they came into the gate, but they didn't have a weapon on them when they found the body.
And the question currently being asked is,
where's the weapon? Who were they shooting at?
oh,
Where is the... So, weapons leave traces. They damage walls, equipment, people. Where's the hit? What did the weapon hit?
Okay, could Ilya do a recall to see if, or would he remembered if,
The mirror took pictures.
oh, that's right.
Oh,
yeah.
yes, right, yeah.
Sorry. He's melting.
Mira, what the
That's fine. It's
I'm
been
sorry,
it's
you're
been
telling me
very
it's like-
hot. It's been very hot this week.
Don't you have a camera on you? What the fuck?
What? What did the recordings find?
No energy discharge on any of the walls or objects in the area.
There are no scorch marks.
No scorch marks.
Potentially, the target was hit by the victim. Somebody may be running around with a laser pointer.
Hmm.
So let's go over some of who can go over some of the facts right now of like what we have for people, their walking, their movements, and how they appear. We've got
The commander definitely has a limp, but that was established beforehand.
he has a
Rhea
limp.
Rhea would mention to the group, about the weird stepping pattern, the footprints.
Yep.
He has a leg injury.
Yeah, he said he got knifed. Like
That
over a
was
week
while
ago. Yeah, over a week ago.
Still pertinent.
What about Brother Thorn?
Well, he was doing exercises with the fencing, you said, and
Yep. Stripped to his waist.
yeah, so it was like he didn't have any injuries on him.
What about Kite? Kita-Ray. What about Kita-Ray?
The merchant.
Yep.
Did it pick up on a limp on him?
Nope.
No search was made of Kita-Ray of his body.
Correct.
Now, also, about the footsteps, not necessarily an injury, but maybe somebody who's been traveling in an awkward position for a while.
Oh, we did make them all walk around, though.
Yep.
What about Vex? Rhea, what does Rhea know about Vex and like where he kind of like his stalking grounds? Does he travel much?
Vex travels a lot.
Vex travels a lot.
In and out constantly. Vex
So
has a
there's a knife
lot of
wound.
it. Yep.
Somebody with a weird walking gait, somebody who's kind of new to the fort, at least recently, and well, they're a rapid, so obviously they should probably be very high on the suspect list.
Tinmouth also mentioned that Bite was damaged.
There was oil under his nails too.
Yeah, someone at the scene was covered in mechanical oil to the point where their scent was obscured. That could also be a mechanical.
We could have
Could be
somebody
Bite.
digitally interrogate Bite, go through his memories.
Should we send someone to go grab Bite?
Remember also the marks on the neck of the victim called like sausage fingers.
Thick.
Well, thick fingers. We need to see what size fingers people have, including Bite.
Oh yeah, so
Doc will
Iliad.
actively be going out of his way to identify any kind of DNA left on that, or if they were gloved.
Trace. So Doc's looking for traces that don't belong to the
Effectively,
victim.
like I said, when
Yeah.
I'm doing his full autopsy, he's like observing everything, identifying like were the strangulation marks made post-mortem, how recent they were, everything that Argo had brought to his attention and had noticed on his preliminary inspection. Like Doc's going to like go deeper into it and garner all that information. As soon as he gets it, he'll share it with Argo to share with the group if need be.
So Doc,
So,
the neck was broken.
Pre-mortem or post-mortem?
Free.
So then the broken neck is likely what killed him. Then the stabbing and everything. So either this is a intensely violent like murder, or they just did as many things as possible to like keep throwing red herrings.
That's the problem. He has a reserve heart.
Is it entirely possible with the fluke that they just put his heart and his heart at the same time?
That's a good point. I'll start comparing the amount of like red blood tissue, like the amount of cellular tissue decay between the 2 points, so that I can identify how long between a broken neck and that puncture to the heart transpired.
we could also have someone investigate. This might be a long shot. Might be chasing nothing, but we could have someone investigate the crate the boy and the man had been carrying, if that has any further information. Because like right now, we don't know when he was in this warehouse, because it wasn't during Thorne's shift, because he didn't see him enter. Caleb did not enter the warehouse during that time.
Well, when did he see him argue with the commander? He did see him. He saw him
Mhm.
arguing with the commander.
Right.
Where?
Which actually, yeah, that's gonna be a point Iliad brings up to the commander. Commander, you said your interactions with the victim was standard, short.
So this is where again, Red Rum's emotion inducement, because he was there when she did that for the honesty thing. So it's still being
Well,
effect.
and it's huge.
Yeah.
Her range is huge for
Yeah.
that.
And so it's still in effect right now. And he's like, all right, well, we had a bit of an argument about some of the supplies he brought in.
When?
Not
and
about
where?
the money. Well, I unboxed a few of them. Standard protocol to do lists of virus search. Going through anything that's digital components, radiation scanning, biocontamination. Some of the filters were definitely not newly made. I mean, not everything's going to be new. That's fine if something's used as long as it's serviceable. But these things had radiation contamination on them.
When did this happen? How long ago?
Like an hour or two after they arrived, after I started going through the inventory, doing a stock check.
How many hours ago was that?
Maybe 6, 7. It was in the early morning, right after they got in. So I let them water themselves and settle down about an hour after they arrived. So I'd say about like 9 o'clock in the morning. So right now it's in the evening.
Didn't Thorne say he saw them arguing during his shift, which was
3 hours ago,
3 hours ago?
yeah. It was recent.
We have witness reports that you were arguing with him not 3 hours ago.
No, no, didn't really have any. I mean, we talked a little bit, but I mean, we were pretty much done with our. I mean, What else was there to fight about? The stuff was here. I wasn't gonna pay him the full amount for contaminated filters. I'm gonna have to can't use them. I'm not gonna put them in the water system. It's gonna contaminate the entire facility. He had some good filters I was still gonna use, but the other ones, no, that was he said that was Caleb's shit, and I can't use this. So no, we didn't really have any other words after that.
No words with Caleb at all.
Caleb, no. But then he sits there and he's thinking about it. He's like, at least I don't think I did.
Iliad's eyes will like kind of start rotating as much as they can, like, narrow. Oh, does Rumred have
Yeah, she has the ability to kill off
enter
the
minds?
Hmm?
Can she enter minds? I know
She
Roos
has
could do that.
telepathy, but I don't think she's as good as what Roos could do with probing. I mean, she has an ability to communicate mind to mind, but that's not the same as mind probe.
Yeah, she's more in the telekinesis
Right.
route.
And empathy.
Yeah, passive and active receptions, not like diving. You can give it a shot, see what she can garner. Get a look at his wider mindscape.
Yeah.
The idea of it's an untrained check for her.
You experiencing brain fog.
Yeah,
Or do you
Yeah,
accept
COVID.
to a routine psychological check?
Commander, I have suspicion that you might be mentally compromised.
that's a pretty heavy accusation, Commander Elliot.
I mean, we have to roll to see if he's being honest about these statements he had. The honesty radius,
Yeah, again, he's in it. Like, that sphere is big and it hits hard. It's like a cudgel. Like, he's gonna be honest.
So, you remember, without a shadow of a doubt, utmost certainty, you can remember the previous 3 hours.
Sits there and he thinks about it. And he's looking down at the brushed metal table. Yeah, we have the yellow sodium light going back and forth in the dark room, and he's just tapping his fingers. I went to get grub. Saw Vex. Then I got a radio call. Found the body. No, wait a minute. Someone reported the body. I went to go verify it. Then I saw you.
As he's doing this, Iliad already is radioing, and Red Rum, we need you in here now.
Acknowledged, on my way.
Commander, some period.
I was sitting with Vex. Ita came, took something, lunch, sorry. Huh. So, Red, when you get in, he's going through this dialogue and he's trying to get his day organized in his mind.
Mm-hmm.
And you get immediately when you walk in confusion.
Right.
He isn't certain about what happened. He's not entirely sure now of his groundings, and he can't lie if he's not certain.
I would like to have Red do a request that he submit to a full body examination.
Yeah.
See if there's any signs, puncture, injection, anything that says he could have been tampered with. And
That's,
you know, simultaneously, scanning him as best she can with her overall capacity to see if she's picking up on anything besides confusion.
yeah, no, of course, yeah, I'll go see Doc.
Yep, and she wants to walk with him
Yep.
till he's got to Doc.
So what about Whiskey Tango? Where's he at right now?
You're muted, Ara.
Thank you.
Iliad's accompanying Red too, by the way.
Okay. He was going to go to Cinder to inform them. Oh, not Cinder. There. I'm getting my people mixed up again.
Right. There's another robot that has no one's interviewed yet. His name is Bite.
Well, he might go to Bite then. Just for shits and giggles.
Bite's a lot like Whiskey Tango. He doesn't have an auditory matrix. He doesn't have like anything that he can speak to people, so he only speaks in binary bursts. When you find him, he's in the machine shop, like God, what the fuck is his name? The mutant. Tinmouth. Tinmouth had said he would be. He is at a grinding wheel, and he has a punch dagger, spring spike, and he is grinding out its edge.
Dun, dun.
Whiskey will introduce itself, well, himself actually, as he prefers male, to the other voiceless one.
Yeah, Bite's like, Bite just talks back to you like, oh, yeah, I've seen you. Nice guns.
Whiskey would be happy to say thank you, because he also really likes his guns. Whiskey will just start asking a few questions about, like, how he is, like, if he, like, knew exactly what was happening and such. He's a bit blunt.
Oh, yeah,
with his
robots, right? Just straight
Yes.
out. And he's sitting there, and he taps his head like, ding, ding, ding. Yeah, I've been talking back and forth with Tinmouth. We got an open communique. So, yeah, heard about the body. Sorry, and he points down to his leg. And you can see that there's he has some kind of rot around his knee joint. It looks like it looks like rust. He's like, it's like this whole unit's been falling apart on me lately. I fell down, and he holds up his arm, ejected my spring spike, and chipped it on the ground. It's like, I almost skewered Tinmouth as he sets back to grinding out the edge again.
Whiskey will ask, like, how bad was the chip? Was it like just a couple of flake? Was it a pretty big chip?
He holds it up. Again, robots talking to robots, just one. No, it was just a couple shavings off the edge. It rolled the edge of the blade. He's like, he shows it. He literally pulls the spring spike, so you can see the grounded edge is only on one side. He hasn't ground the other one, and he's had to take off not too much, like a feather. He's had to take off more than you would think because he had ground the edge too sharp, where it was very thin and the edge had rolled. And so that whole rolled edge has to come off. So he's taking, a couple thousandths of an inch he's had to take off. Like, yeah, I gotta grind it out again to get this distal edge tapered properly. Otherwise it won't slide in correctly.
Oh.
He it goes in and comes out, goes in, comes out. It's good smooth action. The edge isn't quite where I want it, not sharp enough.
Well, Whiskey is thankful for his time, but does go confirm the information to others if possible. Just to tell them, oh hey, he did find a subject. They were sharpening the knife. Apparently they had chipped it just a little bit. Apparently on the ground, but sounds
What kind of knife?
spring loaded. He did not really ask, but it looked pretty good.
Need analysis of metal. Special metal was found in body.
Whiskey will ask before he leaves if he could take some of the shavings.
Oh yeah, he has them. There's some of the particles. He's like, yeah, it's right here in the bin, the waste bin off the grinder.
Whiskey will try to take some of the freshest stuff.
Yeah, like basically off the top of the spill pile.
Put it in a bag and run off to go bring it to the smart people. And that's what Whiskey does.
So is it Doc then? Does it go to Doc? No, he's got a new Doc and Argo. Yeah, Argo and Doc.
Yep.
Got a new guy coming in. You got Commander Drill.
Commander, yes. What the pleasure? As he flops off of his chair and extends his legs out.
Hi, Doc. Commander said I need to get a full workup.
Yes, you do.
A full workup then. Very well. Go to the examination room. I shall be along shortly.
Doc,
All right, my
you
boy.
have-
Can you hold down the fort here?
Aye, I can.
All right, thank you kindly. Come along then. Tick, 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 tick.
Before he goes,
Hmm?
Remrad would like to speak to Doc.
Oh. Yes.
Specifically, he may have lost time, including the time that he was observed arguing roughly 3 hours ago. Blank, blank, time of murder. Arguing with the now deceased. So he's not sure of his timeline.
You assume some form of psychic melee.
Perhaps there are other options, chemicals, biological intrusive control of
Oh.
various types.
When he said a full workup, you meant it.
Yes, we need any kind of trace residues of,
Very well then.
you know,
Full CT scan for looking for any forms of abnormality. Cognitive tests to see if we can identify any form of like lingering psychic melee. Doc just starts jotting down things on a notepad. Well,
there are a variety of organisms that can control another organism.
Indeed. I believe there was a parasite on the payroll as well.
Do we need to bring him back in?
Not yet. I should have most DNA profile of all employees. So if any
Most-
trace elements are found,
Unless I'm mistaken, most parasites use tendrils to connect to the neurological system, as well as digestive, feeding, and waste elimination tubes. There would be multiple indicators of parasite, as we call them.
puncture
Could be.
wounds, anything of that
Yes,
nature.
yes. I'm not so sure about host, inhabiting plant. That might be more subtle. I'm not as familiar, but yeah, anything of that nature we need.
All right, so we'll look for any kind of biological host or any kind of biological hosting,
Mhm.
mayhap. Let's see.
He seems pretty together now, but he also is definitely confused. and not able to account for all of his day.
Also, check his figures. Maybe they might match the. Could be our smoking gun.
I picked up on one thing though. Who is this fella he was talking about seeing? Going to have lunch with? Some
Vex?
rabbit? Vex, yes.
Yes.
He kept circling around Vex. Like, I saw Vex, and then I left, and then I came back to Vex. Oh wait, is that how it happened? Do you recall that, Iliad? I don't know,
do
but I think
remember
you
him
should.
mentioning Vex a lot.
I think you need to isolate Vex as well.
I have a sneaking suspicion I heard a certain rat mumbling something about that.
Seems almost on par with the idea of like a temporal placement. You know, the idea of like an anchor point in his mind. For some reason, he keeps referring back to this particular time and location.
Right.
Fascinating.
Yeah, it's hard to know. You know, there's other things like, I guess, hypnosis and other forms of control, but this seems pretty potent, whatever it is.
Iliad will actually done radio and Rhea.
And then time
Rhea,
to go
come
see.
in.
You recall the effects of whatever the heck she was, the psychic leader of the so-called aliens that we.
Yes, I was actually analyzing her gray matter not too long ago.
Well, we remember that when she died, it seemed to almost release the hold. No, I don't know if it's in all related to that, but maybe compare that to your, examination too.
Understood.
Thank you.
We did manage to garner some form of information off of the formerly compelled, so mayhap we can use this.
By the way, I wish to work with you at some point on trying to develop some methodology of blocking psychic attacks as well as maybe enhancing psychic attacks.
Well, of course.
Based
Much
on
as
your
I
research.
young Argo, my lab is your lab.
Thank you. And she leaves.
Rhea, Rhea, come in.
Right here.
Lord above rabbit.
Rabbit below.
Does the name Vex mean anything to you?
It does to a certain degree. I don't think you have to worry. I'm already on my way.
Crazen. If maybe rein him in.
Trying to figure out what Vex has to do with this is quite vexing.
Hey, that's my job.
I shall see myself out.
Go check the commander, you bucket of
fucking
goo.
rated ball, bitch.
Ting, 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 ting.
So, what do you want to do? So, you don't work up on Commander Drell, and you find he has a high volume of ketamine in his blood.
Holy shit.
The bubbles, yeah, his jar kind of glubs and bubbles. Fascinating.
So, ketamine can be used as a painkiller, but it also fucks with short-term memory.
I'm quite aware of the effects of ketamine.
Makes you susceptible to hallucination. It also makes you susceptible to suggestion.
Well then, I have a question for you, my good lad.
What's
How
up,
long
Doc?
have you been using?
Using what?
He's gonna tinker off and produce a bottle of ketamine from his stockpile of material. Ketamine. Powerful pain or pain agent.
What did Doc have record of that if he was the one prescribing that?
That's the thing. I don't believe you've come through my channels for this. All of my records are accounted for.
And you, and the other thing is that, Peter Ray is a chemist. Yeah.
I'm not here for disciplinary action, as you know.
All right.
I honestly don't care about the military side of this.
I'd say about
You are currently my patient.
I'd say about 6 months now.
6 months.
I've had a problem with my back. It was going to take me off patrol duty, and I can't be taken off of the watch line. There's nobody to replace me, so
we must make do. I understand.
I started trading with Ida when he came up. He's got some basic painkillers and started using ketamine as a way to kind of ease the pain.
Understandable then. So I'll continue doing his full blood workup. How's the leg injury? Not my finest work, but situations being as dire as they were, I may be able to take a look at it again. See if we can get that toe fixed.
Yeah, sure. If he unbuckles his belt and he takes it down, he's got a burn mark on his leg.
And what happened here?
Oh shit!
How
It's
fresh does it look?
It's today. It's a graze. The pants didn't have any evidence on it, and it's bandaged.
That's strange. Were these always the pair of pants you were wearing today?
Yeah.
Strange that you would have a burn this fresh. As he extends out his little, like, antenna receptor to identify the heat from it. Yes, still fresh.
Yeah,
Recently bandaged.
It's a zap gun
Tended
wound.
to. I had a feeling it's gonna... He's also taking that receptor to identify any faint trail of ozone.
Yeah, so fabric was burned. In that, like, some of it's burned onto the wound itself. It wasn't cleaned really, really well. It was just bandaged over. It's pretty much right on the surgery mark in his knee. Like, it's in that same general area, so pretty easy to convince himself that that's what it was.
Do you mind?
He's looking at it with, like, naked horror.
Doc's
No.
gonna begin concocting a form of, like, mild sedative.
No, you need to tell Commander Iliad I can't. Nothing I've done in the past day can be trusted. They got to go back and look at all my logs. Something's wrong with my mind.
Understood. Doc pushes a little button on him. Commander Elliot.
Yes.
Hi, Captain. If you'd be willing to enter.
It takes him like 2 seconds. He's waiting right outside the door.
Iliad, you see the burn mark on his knee. Well, zap gun.
Iliad, there's a distinct whir of his shoulder check coming online, not to shoot,
Yeah.
but like
It's
It's
like a reflex.
mhm.
Doc gonna slowly lift his hand. It's quite alright. We
Doc.
can't rule out that he is the culprit. However, it would be prudent of us to send some men to go check his logs and what have you. The man's not in enough of a right mind to even remember this.
Sir, I need to be put in a cell.
Doc, I appreciate your work you do here. You are the master of this room, but I am the master of these men.
Understood.
Commander, you are under arrest. The suspect of murder.
He
Doc,
gives no objection.
But Doc, you do bring a good point. His mind may be compromised.
If I may, I'd like to request admittance to further my investigation on the patient. Sure. If need be, we do have a holding cell for any chance that any men succumbs to psychosis.
Very well.
Red Rum. Now that he is going, like, he's been exposed, he has that honesty filter on him, you get an emotion coming off of him that is like grafted on there. I don't know if Bliss can hear me right now.
So like the equivalent of a mask, like a forced emotion now.
Yeah. Bliss, can you hear me? You might be muted.
Are you muted, buddy?
Yeah, he's
I
muted.
really, you guys come back. We got a few
Yeah.
other.
Yeah, if need be, we can circle back. Oh, he
No,
unmuted.
there he is. He's, yeah.
Oh, there it is. Hi.
So,
My whole headset went out for some reason.
understood.
Ah.
So Red Rum can feel that there's an emotion over Commander Grell that is artificial. It's like a grafted on there.
Okay.
What
more
a
shit?
kill switch.
It's calm, It's a repeated pattern. There is an elliptical sensation to it. Like, walk down the hallway. Walk down the hallway. Go through the door.
Is this like the Jedi mind trick that she got taught, or is this something
Much more primitive.
much
This
more
is-
primitive?
This isn't psychic.
Oh, okay. So it's like subliminal, or what? What?
Hypnotic.
Yeah, it's
Hypnotic.
hypnosis.
It is a hypnotic. Right. So she'll report on that.
Commander, are you there with me? After hearing what Red Rum said.
Yes, I'm here, sir.
Seems to be acting normal. Doc, I will permit you to stay with the patient. Keep as many eyes as you can on him.
Understood. I shall keep all 3 of them.
Right. And we'll take him to the cell.
As we are going, I will continue to look over him with the entity scanner to see if it picks up traces of anything else.
Nothing. He seems to be the same exact person he's supposed to be, other than the ketamine in his system. And then we get on the other side with Vex. Sitting at a table. Got a long cigarette. He's smoking out of a long pipe filter. He's got a little bit of like a bowl in front of him of algae. Some kind of foamy drink he's enjoying. He rolls one of his eyes, that red albino eye, and he looks at the rat coming in. Ah, God, I was just sitting down to eat.
Crazen no care. Crazen has requests for you.
Oh, yeah, well, you don't mind if as he points to the food.
Crazen looks at it and shrugs. Crazen in need of new knife. You have any of those?
He grins as he's picking up a few bits of like lumps and pops them into his mouth of like the algae. Ah, you need a knife, huh? You want as he takes a look at you. Let me see your hand.
He holds out his power claw.
No, you want to put a knife in that thing? You'll char it. Give me the other one.
Crazen hands it over.
All right. As he reaches out with his you expect to see like the paws that Rhea has, but Vex has hands. And they're kind of big.
Freak rabbit! Freak rabbit!
Are they sausage-like?
Yeah, they're pretty thick and they got covered in fur. All right, let me see here. He's like grabbing and manipulating your fingers and he's holding them up. I mean, they're comically larger.
How is that rabbit?
He's not that big. He's only, he's less than a meter. They're just comically large hands.
Crazen grabs the hand in return. And just kind of looking.
No.
You's a freak!
He's like points to, he takes one of these big freaking Wreck-It Ralph hands and he points at your like your mechanical arm. He's like, yeah, so are you. Just trying to get an idea of the size of your hands because I want to be able to put a blade in this. It's gonna be balanced right. I don't have any on me right now, but I can probably make something up. But I gotta record the memory as his mechanical eye focuses in and starts taking pictures. You can hear like a click, 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 click.
Also, Tim, while doing that, Crazen was gonna try to see if he could smell anything off this guy's hands. Anything
Doing a
similar to
little, like,
ozone
rat
or like, what the dead guy smelled like on there.
No, none of those things. Smoke, cigarette smoke, food, a little bit of machine oil.
Yeah, too much time has passed.
No, he would have had it on his fur. It's only been a few hours. He is a furry creature. You're not gonna get that out unless you wash. Like,
Okay.
he doesn't smell like any of those things. But he's got those big ass fucking hands though. And he's like, yeah, I mean, I could probably get you a knife. You want an energized one? You want a solid one?
You nothing on you now?
Nothing that's gonna fit your hand. As he like goes to his hip and he picks out this, he draws a knife out and he puts it down on the table. It's blunt, it's thick, because again, his hand size, like the tang comes down and it would be just too unwieldy for you. It looks like a punch dagger with like the way he's holds it.
Okay.
He's like, yeah, this thing just wouldn't work for you. I mean, it barely works for me. And then he like looks around and like, not to mention I'd have to jump to stab anybody here.
Mm. Is there? So it's a dull blade.
Yeah, I mean it's not dull, it's sharp.
What's that? Is there any chipping on it?
There is. It's got some wear on it. It's like, I guarantee you good steel. As he sits there and he like passes the knife back and forth and he taps it on the edge of the table and you hear that spring ring.
Mm.
I guess you could call it a spring.
Shut up.
And there is nothing, but that doesn't smell like any recent gore on it, huh?
No blood in the
Good
tang.
trade.
Because it would have gotten into the tang if he had stabbed somebody with it. There'd be blood on it. You'd have to literally dismantle the weapon.
So there's nothing. This guy doesn't have anything of it on him. That's the best you got.
On me right now.
Crazen has stupid amount of silver.
Stupid amount of silver. Wait. You got a stupid amount of
Can't
silver.
fight it.
I got other things.
Blood in the tang means it's a blood orange now.
As he takes out, he's like, hold on, let me get you something. He like, opens up his little satchel, he puts it down on the table, and empties some stuff out on it. I got uppers, I got downers. I got some stuff that'll make you see shit. I got some stuff that'll make other people see shit.
Oh,
And I got these over here. You know, I don't know if these work on rat people like you need them. They're wood pills. Yeah, you know what? You don't need those. He scoops them back inside his bag.
no dagger strong enough for enemies Crazen has fight.
Oh, you want a dagger? Oh, I thought you wanted drugs. Like, skips them back up into his bag.
But hold on, maybe later we come back to that.
Yeah, we'll come back to that. It'll be fun. Oh, okay, yeah, we'll keep you on the list.
Yes, need good weapon, very good, strong construction.
Yeah, I
Crazen
can.
know you rabbits good at getting that stuff. Like you pay well.
I
That's
can.
how Crazen has stupid amount of silver, and Crazen be willing to pay a lot of this silver for a very good dagger.
Yeah, I could get you something like that. You know, I actually recently got one for another guy.
Oh,
Yeah, punch dagger. Not like this one. As he holds up his sheathed knife before it like gets it back onto his like strapped on the side. Yeah, it's this guy named big bloke up from 86.
what's his name?
It was Lorna? Laura?
That-
Lortha?
Crazen waves his hand. Not important. Crazen wants to see this. If from 86 must be good. Must be worth stupid amount of silver.
No, he's from 86. I got the knife for him.
Yes, Crazen just glares like, yeah, that's what I meant, asshole.
He's kind of like, he
What I
gives
said,
you
so.
that smile, like, yeah, that's right, you stupid rat.
Let's see it.
I don't know how. I already sold it to him.
Sold it to him.
Yeah, this morning.
Wonder if he'd be willing to part with it. Do you know if he's still here?
As far as I know, no one's been leaving in any groups, and he's an envoy from 86. Kind of surprised he wanted a knife off of me. I mean, they make some pretty good stuff down there.
Oh. And you say his name was?
Lorna or Laura. Honestly, I paid more attention to how much silver he had.
So again, Crazen will click his communicator back on. For this time to the channel where everyone can hear. Oh, so you sold to man from 86 who's still here.
Yeah, I mean, as far as I know.
A good punching dagger.
Yeah, pretty good one. Solid, thick.
From 86.
Yeah, that's
Still here.
that's what I said. Raisin 8-6. You know numbers. Well, you people were good with words.
Crazen's better than you.
Duke will actively go and start looking through the logs for visitors from 86 so that he can find the person in question.
So he's going up to like the watch like tower, going up to the watchtower looking for like a visitor's log. Nobody.
Yeah.
Cinder is going to go on the radio and say, acknowledge, I will search that one. And goes to see the fella from 86.
There is the, and so Duke gets there is no one from 86 in the
There was
fort
no
right now.
official communique. There was no official check-in with anyone from 86. However, that's not to say that there couldn't be someone unofficially or someone who claims to be. If possible, go about and see if you can try to find if anybody claims to be from 86.
Cinder again gets on the radio. There's definitely one that claims to be 86. He's one of the three I haven't questioned yet.
Excellent then. By all means, take your time, and I appreciate your work.
Crazen, satisfied with that, will turn his communicator down. Keep it on just so we can hear. But then he approaches Vex. You think you're so smart and strong?
I'm smart, but I'm really not that strong.
Crazen can drink more than you.
Crazy. As he like drops 2 silvers like onto the table. 2 beers, please. I buy, you buy.
Crazen makes it a point to jingle the silver pouch he has. Crazen accepts steal. Crazen's gonna get blitzed.
Ray's gonna watch this from the shadows.
Good. So I was actually watching this.
Yes, I was gonna have Ray confront the experts. I like where this is going.
Ray's like, no way, this is way funnier.
So Cinder, you got guards right now who are on Lornaval. This was the one that you couldn't get a read off. There was something biological, like there was a meat brain in there somewhere, but it had all the indications of being an android.
Right. So I just put in the chat, Cinder's going to get on the radio and say, team members, possible conflict with high-risk target, cybernetics, and possibly more, and then give the number that he's going back into to confront this fella.
Iliad acknowledges. I'll move to your position. Doc, keep an eye on the commander.
Understood.
So Duke, you can see this guy like in the parade ground from where you're at the watchtower, and a couple of the other guards that are like over there. You can see them kind of like thumb their selectors over to live.
Duke's gonna start heading down to the parade ground so that he has a more advantageous shot if need be. I'll go. Then I shall go ahead and try to cordon the person off.
Whiskey
Keep them
Tango?
separated so they can minimize the casualties.
Yeah. Whiskey Tango? You're also in the area?
Yep.
You heard the communique go up as a possible hostile?
Fun! We'll be happy to go over and see this commotion. Perhaps get into it.
Argo. So you got those shards with you. I want you to take an intelligence type E against them. Shards of metal. Now you also got the ones from Whiskey Tango that he had gathered up.
I don't think that became an E.
Right.
doubt it.
Did that beat me? I don't have my chart up.
I can take a look.
It does.
Yep.
Barely.
Yeah, barely.
Smart boy.
Inch or a mile, man. Inch or a mile.
Exactly.
The powdered shards that Whiskey Tango had cleverly thought to take off of that sharpener do not match the chemical nature of the ones that you have.
We just effectively did a Montel paternity test on a freaking dagger.
Yeah.
You are not the father.
Yeah.
Yeah, the robot's like excited beep.
Now, what tickles you?
Silent modem sounds.
He's like flipping off the printer, just be like,
Beep, beep, beep.
It's just a dial-up modem
My
sound, just
baby.
a horrific screeching.
Dancing up and down, like, yeah, yeah. The other one's crying, going off the stage. Everyone else is screaming like Montel or Ricky or whatever it is.
just be like, I don't know what's
The
going
Nokia
on.
funky
Fucking-
town ringtone.
So the composition of the material that you'd already been testing on, that little bit of edge there, now you can have something else that is also of high quality. You realize that the impurities and the ones that you're look that you just got are more consistent with what a knife should be. The one that you have is still too perfect. You have, for whatever reason, you think about that moldable metal that comes off of the nanoboards.
Oh,
Dum 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 dum.
Now you know there was
would make sense.
you knew that there was a way to get it to go back into its flow state, was to charge it with electricity at particular voltages. You still have a chunk of that flow steel.
Who's regarding the flow steel?
But Argo's had it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, Argo's had it. Whiskey's been holding it.
What do you want to do with it?
Well, Argo has like a fuck ton of batteries, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, tons of them. And
Well,
you're in a station too with power.
So he will try to make a, I guess, identical cut. See if he can do that with the flow steel.
So you
Just
take
as
the
a-
flow steel, you bring it to the shards, you charge it, and it forms a punch dagger.
Okay,
It takes the memory of the pieces that you had.
interesting.
We effectively have a duplicate of what we were looking for.
Well, then, we are looking for a punch dagger.
That came from a nanoborg.
Exciting.
You communicate that, or you just keep that to yourself? Be like, oh, curious.
Yes, he does communicate it. That it's apparently a punch dagger from a nanoborg.
So for Cinder and Iliad, that would lock together what Cinder was smelling and Red Rum was saying about Lorna Val.
What's his name again?
Lorna Val.
Lorna Val. Got it.
Lorna Val there's something meat in there, but also not very very artificial.
Cinder, I think your theory about Unity might be more true than comfortable.
They definitely are using nanos. And I'm not aware of that being the case at 86.
No. If this really is the enemy we're going to encounter, be ready.
This could be a high risk engagement. It's hard to know how advanced a monolith is.
So Lord of Val's just kind of sitting there. He's in the shade, looking around, seeing people, not reacting to any of them. He's got a little data slate out and he's just reading it. Doesn't seem it has any concerns.
Cinder's going to approach him, and he is going to go ahead and pull his advanced laser pistol at maximum power and point it at this fella and say, "Learn of all. You're suspected possible murder. Stand slowly and keep your hands in the open. Any hostile moves will be terminated."
So he freezes. Red Rum, you get sensation comes from fear.
Okay.
So he definitely has fear. But Cinder, you don't smell any fear.
Sure.
He freezes. And I put down my data slate.
I will take it. Iliad will step forward. His shoulder check. He makes it a point so he can see it's glowing as also light, so he knows he has multiple weapons on him right now.
So Iliad takes the data slate and comes away from his hand. It's just a book he was reading.
Sure.
It looks like some Harlequin trash novel that got dug up from some excavator site.
I was
Right.
reading fan fiction.
Yep.
Is there anything else on this that Iliad could glean, or
It's filled with books.
books?
It's got a huge repository of just bytes of data, just text. Terabytes of text.
It's a lot of text.
That's an awful lot. More than I could process within a reasonable time frame. We'll have to get this to someone else.
I was gonna say, is there a possible cipher in there? Is it really books?
That's what I was thinking, but it's not exactly my area of specialty.
Nope.
I mean, he would have one. What would this be? Computer tech?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think he technically has one from his robotics tech being so high.
I'd imagine Mira, Argo, or Doc could look at it.
Yeah.
Mira might be your best bet. Because worst case scenario, she can dive into it.
That's what he's
Learn
that's
of
what-
all. Can you account for your movements in the last, say, 4 hours? Where have you been? Have people seen you there?
With his hands up. Well, I was in the dining facility
Mhm.
around noon.
time?
About noon. Having
What was the 3-hour mark that we were looking for? That be
About
time wise?
2 to 5.
2 to 5. All right.
About noon to 1. He's in the dining facility. And then he just goes into what he ate. From there, I enjoyed a game of chess with some of the men in the barracks.
Names.
But he gives you some of the privates, some of the younger men that were there that enjoyed a couple chess matches, and that's verified easily that yep, that's where it was.
Mm-hmm.
I spotted a private Thorn, I believe, on patrol at around 1 or 2. I lost track of time.
You lost track of time?
Well, I don't, as he turns his hand so you can see his wrists, I don't wear a chronometer.
That's fine. That's still an unusual statement.
You wanted to know where I was exactly.
No.
Keep
not
your gun
exact.
trained on him. I'm gonna search him. Iliad's gonna start searching this guy's person.
So, would you like me to stand, Sir Iliad?
Aren't you standing yet? He asked you to stand a while ago.
Yeah, he froze because he has a gun on him. He's scared.
Yes, stand.
He holds his hands out, palms out, and slowly rises.
What about Vex? Had dealings with such a person?
Had lunch with him and commanded Dell.
Interesting. And Commander Dell. Commander Dell, who's currently having memory issues.
That is unfortunate.
Did you purchase a weapon from this Vex?
I did.
What weapon was this?
So you find it on his hip, Iliad? You find a punch knife on his hip?
Is there leavings of blood?
No, it's clean.
Because
Wait.
it's
Oh.
not the murder weapon.
Wait, actually, Iliad will take a step back, and he'll use his shock tendril to see if this reacts to it.
It doesn't. But his whole body tenses and reacts. Please don't do that. I'm having a difficult time holding my matrix together.
Matrix.
We have reason to believe that a nanoborg formed punch dagger of similar shape, but not of similar composition, was used in a murder here of a water merchant, or alleged water merchant, named Caleb. The commander seems in some way involved, but there was apparently another individual present, and yes, somehow you seem potentially involved, given the nature of the murder weapon.
Well, then I guess I'm under suspicion, as you said.
As I said, yes, you are.
Would this punch?
Further,
Okay.
I find it interesting that you carry no sense.
Well, I am mostly
Further-
machine.
Yeah, but not completely. And yet, my companion, who's quite skilled at finding feelings and thoughts within a person of organic mentality, found you virtually a blank slate. I think the words that she used was actively dissembling.
He is, again, very still. Like a human body couldn't stay this still.
Right.
I
have him dead in my sights.
Yeah, actively, like he's blinking. He's still, and he's working his mouth though. And these are subconscious human things that he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know what to say. Psychic. I guess I have a useful talent against having my mind looked at.
Yes. Curious thing. We're not really familiar with a member of 86 having nanoborg technology. Seems more something we associate with another faction within the high desert. That faction being Unity.
Yeah, he's getting subconsciously swallows. Looking, his eyes are sliding left to right, trying to get a look at where Iliad is, but he can't see him because Iliad's been at his back.
Yep.
Is that
Quick
illegal?
question, where's WTF at?
He's-
Is WTF also present?
Also,
Well, all the firepower.
Note if this punch dagger would match the width of the injury.
It does.
So yeah, might not be the murder weapon itself, but
Modeled off
You
of
said
after it. Yeah.
like
Yeah,
you
modeled.
said,
The
And
composition is.
your whole body can do
Mhm.
that.
He's like, so, am I going to be remanded to a cell?
Or something. Tightening his finger slightly on the trigger.
He's like looking around the
Doc?
area. Yeah.
Summoning Doc on the radio. I need you here, stat.
Yeah.
Actually, all members converge my location. Stat.
Doc will make sure to lock the cell from the from his charge and ensure that there's at least 2 guards on it. Neither of which will have the key. And then he'll rush to the scene. Duke is already on scene.
Mm-hmm.
Arrow will go, but Ray will
Cra-
keep my backs.
Crazen is nowhere to be found.
Yeah, I guess I'm crazy too.
Well, I'm pretty sure we know where Crazy is.
Yeah. So, I have a question. Am I permitted to ask one?
Speak.
Which do you think is faster? Fiber optic cables or neuron?
I shoot him.
And he attacks, yeah.
I would think that.
And we'll end it there.
I was also gonna say Iliad has his the wrist at his neck.
Yeah, just ready to attack. That was Mutant Epoch. Thank you guys for listening. You found the killer. Lorna Vol. A member of
Good enough.
Unity.
He's got a weird name.
Yeah, get the weird name one.
Of course, it's the weird named one.
You don't sound like you're around here. From around here.
Yeah. Foreign
Guilty.
like. It is all foreign. Yeah.
We should arrest Vex too, just because he
Shit.
sold a weapon.
That rat bastard.
Yeah.
Sorry, that rabbit bastard.
No, he's a rabbit.
The
Ah.
rat's
I'm
gonna
off,
the
not a
rat
rodent.
bastard. The rat's bastard's gonna prove that his superiority over the rabbit.
So this literally came to me at like 9:45 last night, and I'm like, oh, that's what I want to do. I immediately went to sleep. I woke up with like this partially formed idea with all these characters in my head. I'm like, glad that moment of insanity happened all at once. And I just kind of worked on it throughout the day as I was working on, as I was just at work, just kind of rolling around in my brain, like the red herrings, which characters would go where, how they would be discovered.
There's plenty of red herrings.
Yeah, I was curious to see if you guys would go for bite.
Well, obviously, we considered bite,
Yeah.
and we considered. I mean, I was starting to reconsider Kata Ray when the ketamine angle came in.
Yep.
Definitely was, still looking at Tin Mouth as a parasite, but we didn't find the parasite invasive stuff.
The hole.
The
Yeah.
commander.
'Cause I was wondering
So-
if you
getting
guys
ready to try
the
to
knife
cut
wound.
open that leg to see if it had used something to cover it with.
Well, I was wondering if you were gonna think the knife wound with the parasite could get through that.
Yeah,
Right.
that's where I was thinking. That's why I was going to That's why I was having Doc quote unquote relook at the injury.
Right. And
My
and
theory
It was
was
meant to
that,
cover all bases.
Yep.
That bite trips instead of spring shot off and stabbed him.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
two of
on
them tried to
accident.
cover it up. Yeah, this
Yeah.
is like an accidental murder.
That was one
Yeah.
of,
It's like that episode or that quote unquote episode of The Simpsons where they did like alleged like deleted scenes, which was like everybody killing Mr. Burns just in
Yeah.
a line.
Well,
So
it's like
maybe that was it.
I had the
thing
accidental death in there as well. It could have been that if the players had leaned and gone for that and concluded that.
the thing I don't think we've established yet is the why.
Yeah, why? You don't know why.
Like,
We
we're not
don't
gonna
have.
find out why.
Yeah, well, we might
That's-
not because
that's-
he's provoking us into killing him. But Maybe.
Well,
Good question.
I was gonna say I think our characters are combat talented enough to potentially try just to batter him down rather than murder him outright.
Sure.
Just will shoot limbs off till he can stop growing them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. Stop growing
Depending
them.
on his modifications, a good old-fashioned electricity should be more than sufficient to simply shut him down.
Well,
Yeah,
that's for
there's
Iliad to come in.
modifications that can negate that, though.
Yeah.
That's why, depending
In
on his
nanoborgs.
modifications, here's hoping.
There's a lot of possibilities in nanoborgs.
It's either gonna charge him, or he'll use it to charge up, or, you know.
I would get the car battery and the nipple clamps.
Yeah, it comes down to who wins the initiative, whether or not Iliad,
Yeah.
Whiskey Tango, and Cinder all hit him at the same time. Because it's whatever those three, and Duke too, who's got a line on him. One of those four, like all four, I'm going to have all four of you roll instead of just one of you. And then he's going to roll by himself because one of you might just be the one who hits. And it's going to go in order of like highest to lowest.
Mm-hmm.
Just to give an idea of just like it all happens at once. It's just an order of operation. And the thing about Nanoborg, he can attack in all directions.
Yep.
I think Whiskey Tango and Duke, though, are out of his range. The only two who are in melee are Cinder and Iliad. Yeah, so we have a drink and draw this Saturday for anyone who's interested to come around. It's going to be 8 o'clock Eastern.
Yay.
And yeah, we finally got that finalized right away. There was a couple people that had some questions, wanted to do that again. And yeah, we're gonna have that going on for a few more hours, get some stuff done. I think I'm gonna be painting a big demon monster that I've had for several years and I haven't finished, and I kind of need to because it belongs to somebody else. Will's got some stuff that he's working on right now for contracts, and he might be doing those. Yeah, so I hope to see some people there. I might be, if I can get them to come around, I might be bringing in an artist I might be potentially working with in the future for some one-day digs. If he has the free time, I might drag him in and introduce him to the community. And yeah, that'll be about it. So you can get the Mutant Epoch at mutantepoch.com or draftyourrpg.com. Links are in the description, along with an actual like good Discord link that's not going to expire in 7 days. So please check that out. And guys, yeah, have a good night, and thank you everybody. I'll see you again next week.
All right.
Bye all.
But